Keep going.
Remember that name, Good Pizza, with 3 Z's, baby, 3 Z's.
What's up, guys? Check this out. I heard y'all was looking for the fire slices in California. Well, folks, here's where you can find good pizza in California, right here. Check out the list, pause it, do what you gotta do, take a screenshot. It's right here. Here's where you can find the good pizza. What's up, guys? It's your boy JP, Good Pizza. This week we got a local legend, Sacramento's own Chris Barnum, an owner, a chef, and sommelier, 1-star Michelin restaurant, Localis. Let's go. Where do you guys hear this story? It's crazy. We're talking weed pairings, wine pairings, the cannabis world, the chef world. You guys are gonna love this one. This is a different episode. We really enjoyed doing this one, man. See y'all on the show. Peace, love, good pizza. Tell me about this Cayman Islands trip, bro.
Yeah, so they have the Cayman Cookout down there. It's
Solid.
like it's ran by a famous chef called Eric Repair. And it's like all the who's who of like the real celebrity chefs. You know, like there's different classes of celebrity chefs. These are the guys like Jose Andres was, you know, sitting on council from the president, you know, like stuff like that.
Sure.
They're all down there at this cookout at the Ritz-Carlton. Now, keep in mind, like I didn't stay there. Their cheap rooms are so far above my top that I'm like, nah, you know, but going to the event like that to try to network, and I travel to write menus. So on the way back, I actually wrote the whole Cayman Island menu, like finished. Nice. So now that whole story of my journey through the Cayman Islands, not just the fancy shit, but also went to this place called Red Bay Chicken, a jerk spot ran by this old Jamaican guy named Braun.
Tight.
The food was so good.
Nice.
I mean, my family's like whiter than bleached cotton balls, like all my little kids, you know, and all that. And we walk in there and the dude literally asked me, he's like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, getting some chicken. You good with that? He's like, he's gonna look at me like, why are you guys here? This is not the tourist part of town, but like, that's how we travel. That's how I get into like to experience a culture, you know? Cool. And of course, like Braun's jerk chicken is on the menu as like a quail version, you know, all fancified, but the flavors are still gonna be exactly the same. So that's kind of my career, which is kind of crazy, man.
So you travel somewhere and then concoct a menu of sorts from your experience, bring it back here and be like, hey guys, this is what I experienced. Yeah. Let's have a little piece of this land.
Exactly.
That's dope.
And it's not even always about like the meal, right? Like I don't eat a dish and I'm like, hey, I'm going to do a dish like this.
Sure.
It could be a day spent with friends. There's one on there called Cooking for Miss Sherry, where I just like cook for the people that invited us down there. Just a meal for the, you know, a couple of their family members and my family. Yeah. And it's just like down home cooking, but in the Cayman Islands. Nice. And that's a dish on the menu, you know? So it's not always about the food link. It's actually about the people and the time. Yeah. And that's why when people are like, you know, are you representing the Cayman Islands? I'm like, no, I'm representing my trip through the Cayman Islands. You
that's
know?
Cool.
There's going to be flavors that hit, and any, you know, Cayman person that would come in would be like, yo, this is Cayman beef, you know, which I didn't even have the whole trip, but yet I'm doing a dish on the menu for that because it's like that's so essential to their, you know, their culture. So nice, I did have it, but I just didn't think it was like the greatest representation. So
nice.
Yeah, that's my career. Can you believe it?
That's fucking awesome, bro. You seem really happy in what you do.
Oh yeah, you know I couldn't imagine doing anything else.
That's
like,
cool.
Even if I was super wealthy, I'd probably still have some restaurants. They probably just wouldn't be open a lot, but I'd be like, yo, let's open the restaurant, you know, let's cook some food, you know, like dude. I think that'd be so cool. Like I love the work. It's not about a career anymore. It's like, this is what I love, you know, is like food and wine and weed. I mean, like I want to see this represented in the same way, you know, like because so many of our memories from the first time we smoked until now, around this beautiful thing, right? So that's kind of why I'm here doing a podcast on with you, being a Michelin starred chef that isn't in the industry. You know what I mean?
Man.
So
and this is perfect for me because, you know, we're you know, floating in the 120s for episode wise, and like, you know, I grew up, I sold weed, I got in trouble, I went to jail, I came out, started growing. Like that shit happens a lot with my normal conversation on the podcast, which is cool. That's what we do. But anytime I can get like a spinoff or like, man, let's bring something new, some new blood into the mix with just like a little weed layover. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Like I seen you know, the episode Proper did with you. I was like, bro, this is brilliant. I need this guy on my show. This is the shit I need, bro.
That's awesome. Yeah. Shout out Proper Doinks, by the way.
Shout out Proper,
right?
man. You already know. Whose episode's dropping Monday.
Hey.
By the time you see this, it's already been out. Yeah, man. So that's fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
I love that. Where's your favorite place, favorite country you had the best experience eating?
Thailand.
Thailand.
Yeah,
That was
I'll
a
just say it
quick
before you
one.
even finish your question, like Thailand. Everyone
For
asks
real?
me
Over Italy.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, shit.
Absolutely. Listen, when you say
funny.
your favorite, that doesn't mean anything about everything behind it, right?
No
it could be
doubt.
such a close second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh,
Okay,
eighth, ninth,
gotcha,
10, all the
gotcha.
way down.
I respect
But
that.
when you ask favorite,
I
Thailand,
respect
man.
that. Tell me why, bro.
Oh God. Well, number one, like the spice.
Okay.
Like, I like spicy foods.
Okay.
But I like flavor. Sometimes
Sure.
spicy doesn't equate to flavor.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's a
Thai,
fact.
the thing I love most about Thai cuisine is the fact that it is every flavor is big.
Yeah.
Super sour, super sweet, super salty, super spicy.
Okay.
But when you blend some of those together, they balance each other out, and then in turn you get like this loud flavor. As you know, using a doink reference, you know, like
no doubt.
super loud. You know,
Yeah.
like so Thai food is loud, and as you can probably already know from me, I'm not a quiet person.
No, you're not. I like it. I like
So it's like, for me, that food, and it just hits me, man. Like, there's a lot of seafood down there. I love seafood. That's
Same.
my favorite protein. Like, without a doubt, I could eat fish all day, every day. Like, that's just what I like eating. And they just do it so proper, and the people are so kind.
No shit.
Bangkok, like, I'm not a big city guy.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I love Rome. I love Paris. I love, you know, all the big Buenos Aires. You know, like,
Yeah.
there's a great. But Bangkok, man, like. That's
the jam.
crazy in all the right ways. Like, New York is
Yeah,
crazy for
yeah.
me in the wrong ways. Like, I get uncomfortable in New York.
For real, why?
Yeah, it's so fucking much, dude.
It
Like,
is, yeah.
there's just times where I'm like, bro, there's too many options. There's too many this. Like,
Yeah.
there's too many people. Like, it's just like everywhere you go, it's just like
Yeah,
this,
New York-
you know? Like, you sit down in a bar,
Yeah.
you got some space. Pretty soon it's like, no, dude, like,
Yeah,
squeeze in until
it's
you're
tight.
like
It can get
this.
tight.
And
It
I'm
can
just
get
like,
tight.
I don't know, man. It's a personal preference. You know,
No
it's
doubt.
like
No
people
doubt.
that don't like tomatoes. I'm like, how do you not like tomatoes? But at the same time, I get it. Like, that's your palate, you know? So for me, but I'm telling you, Bangkok, whoo, the food, the culture, the vibe,
yeah.
like the people, it's dope.
I hear a lot about Bangkok and Thailand from my cannabis friends. You know what I'm saying? Shout out
Yeah.
my boy Josh Schmidt. He, you know, his wife's from Thailand, and he's always like, whenever the crew goes there for like the full moon sesh that just passed, like he's always like the tour guide. And like I've heard so many dope things. All my friends that have been there, they're like, bro, you gotta go.
Yeah.
You're tripping, dude. Get the fuck over there.
You have to. And
Yeah,
I mean,
it's on
shout
the
out
list.
Thailand for legalizing.
Yeah.
I mean, the last time I was there, there's tuk-tuks driving around with sacks of weed in the back and big
Yeah.
old signs that are like, get some herb. And I'm like, what, dude?
Yep.
This is dope. Like, they just embraced it. This is what people talk about. Change is going to take so long. I'm like, bullshit. You just
Yeah.
make the change and it happens. Like
Yeah.
Thailand did. It was like, they passed it and the next day people are like, yo, cannabis, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's what
Yeah.
I'm about right there, man. I love it.
Yeah, for sure, bro. And there's good pizza in Thailand right now. I have
Well-
no idea how that happened.
I mean, look at Japan.
But
Japan
it's
decided they
fucking
wanted
there.
to do pizza, and that's
No.
what Japan does.
My weed, my brand.
Oh, your brand.
bags
Oh, I'm
are
talking
in-
like pizza,
No,
bro.
no.
You got to make that
No,
distinction.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's
So
crazy.
wow, so you get to sell there.
No, I don't get to sell anything there.
Yeah,
I don't know
of
how
course.
it got there.
But-
I'm just
but
saying.
they love
it.
it.
got there, and it's been on Instagram, and I've been tagged. And I'm
Nice.
like, salute. 'Cause that's fucking
That's
dope,
so
bro.
cool, man. I love
You never
that.
know where your bags end up. You know
No,
what I'm saying?
totally.
You literally don't. It's cool. Yeah, man. So, fucking
What do you
shout out
got
to
there?
Thailand. This is some Chef, a.k.a. Seabiscuit. I'm just trying to roll, like, you know, I got a fucking scale here, so why not weigh it?
Yeah.
Try to roll like a 2.5er.
How much loss do you think you're gonna have in stem?
Probably like a 0.2 or 3.
Oh, okay.
Maybe like a 0.2. This is actually, these nugs are great form, good form. Not too much bark going on the inside. Blueprint does it right.
Blueprint, blue nose for sure. When I smell and taste like wine as a sommelier too, like I speak about color profiles of acidity, color profiles of fruit, you know, so an acidic thing doesn't necessarily just mean acid, you know, it could
Yeah.
be like a red, flavor of acid or a yellow flavor of acid or whatever it is, like in my spectrum at least. And weed is the same exact thing. There's no difference. I mean, it's so close to Vinus vinifera, like the grapes that actually get made into wine.
Okay.
That's the strain, that makes wine.
No shit.
Yeah, and you have all of these different strains of grapes, and then you have a producer that grows it, picks it, makes it right, and then sells it. I mean, there's no better correlation right there
Yeah.
than how this is seen too, like by all of us that are connoisseurs and not just smokers.
For sure. And I'm really excited to dive into this in our conversation. We'll do it a little later. But the weed and wine pairing, bro, I never even thought of that. Weed and food pairing we're going to talk about as well.
Yeah.
But, weed and wine pairing, where I was watching you guys shoot the little competition at your restaurant with Proper, like, how you guys were like pairing weed with different terps, or weed with wine, and it was just like, whoa, this is fucking nice. Holy shit! This
And
would
I
go
mean,
good with this.
I felt really good about it because we just did that, and I mean, I literally walked out into the wine cellar after. I didn't know what weed I was going to be smoking.
Sure.
And it was crazy to me that it's like, that's what I love, is the honesty and transparency of like, I don't even know what's happening, but I'm going to choose this right now. It's kind of like proof of concept that there is a correlation between all flavors, no matter what you're eating, drinking, smoking, like all those, flavonoids, whatever we want to call them. They all correlate in some way, shape, or form if you have that palate to pick it out. And I thought that was a really fun like thing to just be like, all right, like it's calling me out, because I was judging them and I kind of felt uncomfortable about it, like it's the job. You're judging a competition, so you got to be, with that. But at the same time, I mean, who am I? I'm just a chef. I'm not in that world. I'm not rolling doinks every day. Like I'm no professional at it.
For
so
sure.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was really, really fun.
The cool thing about that is even if you're not used to judging or looking for the certain nuances in the smoke or whatever, Adam and Paul are really good at walking you through what to look for. Like, hey, so think about smoothness, think about flavor, think about mouth stain, or what was where do you guys swap with mouth stain or mouth coat? There was a word that Adam actually adopted.
I don't know if you didn't know this. We were smoking a lot of weed.
Yeah,
I think it's so hard to remember anything, man.
You guys had a proper cycle, bro.
Yeah, I remember going out to the wine cellar and like talking to myself, and I'm like, "Where are you at right now? You're at a 7. Okay, all right. Well, that's okay. That's about where you think you are." Like, yeah, it was fun, man. We had a blast.
For sure. Yeah, that was cool, man. So let's dive into your story, man. Let's take it back to the very beginning, man. Like, where'd you grow up? Fucking tell us about flow us through high school, what type of shit you were on, and kind of like how you entered into the world.
Yeah.
But take your time, though.
Yeah, totally, man. I appreciate that. It's fun because I think my story's cool. And I think a lot of people think their story's cool, and sometimes they are and sometimes they aren't, But for me, like, I grew up in Forest Hill, which was a town up in the mountains, like northeast of Sacramento by about an hour plus.
Okay. All 50?
80.
That way?
80
Oh,
side.
80,
Yeah,
okay.
up Tahoe on the 80 side, right? So you're heading up towards
by
Tahoe.
Auburn, right?
Auburn. So
Yeah,
I live in
gotcha.
Auburn.
Gotcha.
That's where I actually live right now. But
Cool.
Forest Hill is about 35 minutes up the hill into the mountains.
Gotcha. Okay.
One-way road, like it's one in, one out.
Tight.
So it's a small. There's no stoplight still to this day.
Okay.
Like, it's that small.
Okay.
Tiny.
No doubt.
Mountains, camping, hunting, fishing. As a kid, I was always like, I'm a little different, dude. Like I don't like this. I want to go to the city. I want to go to New York. I want to go here. Like, because TV was my only access to travel. My parents, they did everything the right way on the way up, just like struggling, hustling, but we didn't have money for travel. We never traveled like places far off, It was like, yeah. So growing up there and just kind of wanting out. And at 17 years old, I moved out of my house. And my mom actually, is funny, she accused me of doing drugs. And at that point in time, I had tried nothing.
No
like,
shit.
Never.
Okay.
Not once. And because I played death metal. And she was like, you're involved in this like bad music, Yeah.
Shit.
And I was like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm out, So I moved out at 17 and I never moved back to moving with my band. Got a full-time job. Finished high school with a 4.0s just so I could prove them wrong.
Good for you.
Yeah, great, finger in the air, just like, fuck you. You said I was going to fail. I didn't fail, I did this. That was definitely the cocky, chip on the shoulder, Forest Hill kind of attitude that I had. But, long story short, I moved down to Auburn. I've been there ever since, still live there. I was an electrician for many years and was really, good at it, made good money. I had my own business. And in the whole time, like from the age of 18 on, like cannabis, like always. It was my drug of choice.
Okay.
I'm not a big drinker. I still have never tried any other like chemical drugs, I'm not interested in that, which
Smart.
is, more to
Good move, bro.
whoever else, whatever. It's not like it's not a flex, it's just like, it's never part of my life. I had a biological father who wasn't in the picture that was, a drug addict and a drunk, and I just never wanted to be that,
Yeah.
So, I started doing electrical and then started going on tours with my death metal band. I started that when I was 17 years old and played in like pretty serious levels of music for many years.
Nice,
Went on a couple tours, and the first time I had traveled nationally around the whole country on tour, I found food. I was in Austin playing, and I've told this story. I almost feel like I've said it here before, but it's just deja vu from other, things. But I'm playing at this venue called Red 7 outside, and I keep smelling barbecue, but not like I'd ever smelled barbecue. Like I thought barbecue was for steaks, or French fries, or steaks, burgers, hot dogs.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a style of food that was barbecue.
Yeah.
And I remember going to an open pit barbecue spot in Austin and just being blown away. Like, holy shit, the flavors and the texture of this meat, and it was nuts.
Yeah.
We were in a hurricane driving across the country on the southern part through Mississippi, Alabama, all that stuff on Highway 10. And getting into Miami after like multiple days of just driving in humid, disgusting, with a bunch of dudes in a van. And we get out and I'm like, I'm gone. I'm going to go do laundry. And my homie's like, oh, I'll go with you. I'm like, you stay the fuck away from me. I want away from all of you. Yeah. And I just go to this little spot, and sure enough, there's a dude making Cubanos on the street corner.
Fire.
And I had my first Cubano, and I was like, what the fuck?
That's a special day.
Like, yeah, man.
Yeah.
And then, all those stories throughout the whole country. And I just came back like, trying to be a death metal musician is funny because 90% of the population hates your music. Hates it, right? You ain't gonna make no money playing death metal.
For sure.
And so I kind of just like, my wife, she was my girl at the time. She was like, I'm done with you traveling all the time. You're always gone, So I was like, well, I got to change, and I'm not going to be a musician. That's not going to work out.
Sure.
And I don't really like electrical. I mean, paying 6-figure salary, yeah, that's great, but I hated the work. I didn't enjoy it. So I'm sitting on the edge of my bed, like, pretty much sobbing. And this TV commercial for the Art Institute comes on, and it said something along the lines of like, travel the world through food, be a chef. And I was like, done.
What?
Yeah,
That's how
straight
this all
up.
started,
Yeah,
bro?
dude. Like,
Holy shit.
I've told that story 50 times, and it never gets old because
Stress is good,
legit,
bro.
like legit.
I
That's how it happened.
Didn't see that
and
coming.
I applied to school the next day.
Shit,
Yeah.
man.
And so they were like, yo, this is like an accredited school. So you got to test to see where you're at since you didn't go to college. And then that'll say what you have to do prerequisites, right? Like maybe I have to do math and English and stuff to get this, BA or AA or whatever.
Yeah.
So I start culinary school the next day. The day after that, I walk into Hapa Sushi up in Auburn, little tiny sushi spot. And I was like, yo, can I get a job? And they were like, do you have experience? I'm like, no, but I'm in culinary school. And the owner looks at me, he's like, oh, culinary school. Like, little does, he know that culinary school usually means shithead that doesn't know how to cook,
Yeah. No.
But I started that day, and that very first day, man, like, the story's true, and they can, the fun part about this story is that you can call them and they'll tell you, like, my two close friends, Jesse and Dustin, like, Rich, the owner's like 5 or 6 hours in, he's like, I'm out, and I'm going, I'm like, whoa, dude, you can't leave me here. Like, I've never cooked before. Like, I learned a little bit in the last couple of hours, but like, no. And he's like, you'll be fine. No one else is coming in. And of course, the place fills up after he's gone. And I'm looking at everything, and, I didn't fuck anything up big.
Okay.
I probably wasn't perfect, but from that day, like that moment in time where I'm looking at those guys and they look back at me and they're like, hey man, thanks, you killed it. And I'm like, oh shit, dude. Like I'm good at this. Like this is what I want to do. 5 years later, I opened up, Localis, which went on to become a Michelin starred restaurant, So that's a real story.
Holy shit, bro.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? I just want to give a quick shout out to my sponsors over at United Nutrients. Trusted by elite growers, United Nutrients delivers clean, reliable nutrition, trusted by top cannabis cultivators for enhancing plant health and maximizing yields, all while being easy to use. Affordable without compromising quality. United Nutrients offers premium nutrient solutions that remain affordable, ensuring growers get the best results without breaking the bank. Sustainability, cultivator-centered innovation. Developed through collaboration with cultivators, United Nutrients' science-backed formulations are designed specifically for cannabis, providing eco-friendly and efficient nutrient absorption to promote healthy and vigorous plants. Tell them Good Pizza sent you. That is crazy. 5 years later, you open up a Michelin joint.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't get the Michelin star till 2022, but nonetheless.
What year did you open?
15.
15, 20. Nice, dude.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah, opened up in 15. You couldn't even get a Michelin star in Sacramento in 15.
Wow.
You weren't available for stars until 19.
Okay.
And then we had 1 year, and then COVID.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then, I remodeled the restaurant. We opened back up. We went tasting menu only, and the next year we got a star. So
beautiful, bro.
Yeah, it's super cool.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations, bro.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's interesting. You don't come from a family of cooks, and
no,
there's no like that. The universe served you, sir.
Yeah, my purpose served me for sure.
I was lucky enough to grow up under some amazing cooks. My grandmother was a famous Italian cook. She wrote Italian cookbooks, James Beard Award.
Wow.
Best teacher in New York. You know, shit like that. So like I was super fucking spoiled growing up. You know, fuck, bro. And I can cook pretty well, not as good as you. But I'm really just in that Italian zone.
Yeah,
like a little bit outside, which is
stick
terrible.
with what you're good at, dude.
You know
Yeah, I
what I'm
mean,
saying?
I was just in Italy for the company trip for 2 full weeks in June, July of last year. Wrote 2 different menus, Northern Italian, Southern Italian.
Ooh.
Brother, you got to come on an Italian menu next time we do one.
I would love that, bro.
Yeah.
I would love that.
You know,
and my family's from the north and the south, so I get a good, mostly south,
nice.
but like Tuscania region and then Napoli and then Sicilia, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
Sicily, you know what I'm saying? So like I make a good pasta con sarde, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, let's go.
Yeah, fuck yeah, bro. But yeah, go ahead. Tell me more.
Oh, no,
Tell me more.
you know, my mom was a great cook though growing up. She only cooked 10 things. But her food was always
Nice.
flavorful, right? You know, like her fried chicken was bomb, and
Okay.
her meatloaf was bomb, and
Fire.
like, yeah, the things that she did like were good. But I literally never ate in a restaurant my entire life. Like
no
that
shit.
wasn't a thing. I think we went to Elmer's once, which is like a Denny's style chain up in Oregon when we were going to see my aunt and uncles. You know, because
Okay.
like those were the only family trips where like pack into a car, drive to see like family, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Like we did, I think we did Disneyland when I was like 13 or 14.
Okay.
But nonetheless, like we didn't travel. So not knowing what restaurants were, it's kind of crazy when you get out into the world of restaurants and it's like, you know, you go to a place like New York, what kind of cuisine do you want to eat? It's
Yeah.
available, you know, like no matter
Sure
what.
is.
And it's authentic, you know, it's crazy. So I just love this whole world of cooking. And, you know, I remember going to friends' house when I was a kid. And man, I can tell you right now that the American mom, on average, not a great cook.
Yeah, that's a fact, bro.
It's a fact. I'm not trying to be mean. I love all the moms. I love all you moms. But, you know, there's a lot of like Americans that don't cook well. You know, they don't make
Yeah.
things taste good. And my mom made shit taste good. So I just remember as a kid going over to these people's houses and being like, what the fuck is this, man? Like, damn. At least put some salt on it.
You know what's crazy? It was a bit of the opposite for me in terms of like I was always used to this amazing food and I'd never had a SpaghettiO in my life until
Yeah.
I met my boys Sean and Joe and like they had mad spaghetti. It was like super American canned shit. You know what I'm saying? So like I had these and I loved it. I was like, this is so good. What is this?
Yeah.
What is this garbage?
Yeah.
I've never tasted this before. You know what I'm saying? Like I've never not eaten, you know, pasta without a fork and a spoon. Like people always ask, what are you doing with that spoon? I was like, I
Yeah.
don't fucking know. That's how you eat pasta. No?
Yeah.
Where's your fucking spoon? You know, so it's like these little things I missed out on that I was like really hype about, just like regular shitty food. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I always like, I think you lived the life that I wanted as a kid, you know, like just from a culinary
know what I
standpoint,
had,
you
bro.
know, my life is good. And I didn't know what I had, right? I hate every time we went camping, I was pouting and being a little dick, you know, because I was like, I don't want to be here, you know, and the hunting and the fishing and the way that I was taught to respect nature, you know, like so many great things were instilled in me. And if I would have been wise enough to get it, I probably would have gotten a lot more from it. But there's no going back. So why even think about it? You know, it is what it is. But I wish that I could have been exposed to like, you know, house-made pasta because my mom's spaghetti was like a doctored up, you know, ragu or pregu or whatever it is, you know, and, you know, pasta in a blue box, you know, like that was it.
Yeah.
So nowadays, you know, traveling to Italy to literally eat from some of the great chefs and from people in their homes, like we always try to vibe with like a family in a place where we can give like, let's sit down and have like a Sunday meal in an Italian home made by an Italian grandma. Like when you're talking about the culture of a people, like that's what it is. Restaurants are great. I mean, I want people to come to my restaurants. Yo, come to my restaurants. But at the same time, like, when you're talking culture like meeting Braun in Cayman Islands, like I met some world famous chefs. That was cool. Their food was cool. But then sitting there with Braun, even after he was pretty much like, yo, white boy, like get out, you know? And I was like, I know, but I got to eat this food because it smells really good and I can see you're doing it right. And then coming back after I ordered my food, paid for it. I tried to talk with him a little. He was like, nah, I'm just like, okay, that's cool. Like, but I come back, I'm like, yo, that was fire. And he's just like, really, you know, like sometimes you gotta do the work to get through.
Bro.
But now I get to take that story of Braun, you know, and a picture of him and, you know, go to the internet and be like, when you have this dish, this is the guy that inspired that dish. You know?
That's
and
cool,
that
man.
day was part of it. I might even tie in the fact that, if you're a tourist somewhere, get comfortable being a little uncomfortable.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
definitely.
he didn't say nothing nasty in front of my kids. He didn't do anything terrible. He just he wasn't down to feed a tourist. He was like, dude, you're not my people. And I'm like, I get you, but you don't know that I am your people. So
yeah. Good for you.
Yeah, totally. Right.
Yeah, he was really standoffish, huh?
Oh yeah. Big time.
No shit.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And it's not in my head, right? Like I'm a paranoid cat too, just so you know, I want to know some of your character flaws. You know what I mean? Like, I want to know the ones that you know, and you're like, damn, I wish I wasn't that paranoid dude, like crazy.
Yeah.
But when you're meeting someone new, they don't know you. I don't know you,
No
so
doubt.
I can't be paranoid about you because
doubt.
I don't know who you are. You know,
Yeah.
let's talk and figure it out.
Yeah. That's interesting. He didn't just welcome the business like, oh fuck, we got some tourist money.
Oh,
here.
they were
Let's go.
so busy, dude. No,
Okay, got you.
He didn't need my business. No,
Okay,
no,
got
he
you.
wasn't thankful that
You were at the spot.
No offense, the white tourist came to eat his food. He
Gotcha.
doesn't give a shit. We rolled in at the
Gotcha.
perfect time. We get up to the front. There was no one else there. He was
Okay.
like this. Within 15 minutes,
Packed.
that place was booming, dude. Like everyone was lined up, and they're all super fast on the order. Like they know what they want.
Nice.
We're like looking around, like, oh, I don't know. We want to try this, you know?
What would you suggest?
We just tried everything.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that was my way
That's
out.
how
Yeah,
you
I'm
work,
just
yeah.
like, yo, give me everything. Give me the oxtail. Give me the braised
mandatory.
goat, the braised curry goat. Give me the jerk chicken. Give me the festival bread. Give me all the things. Like I know enough about food to know what real Jamaican food is. So
No
I'm
doubt.
like, let's get it.
No
you
doubt.
know, and it did not.
Yeah.
It beat every expectation. So good.
Yeah, growing up on the East Coast, you'll have a lot of friends. Your Spanish friends will be Puerto Rican, Dominican. You'll have friends from the West Indies. I got a lot of friends from Jamaica and Trinidad. You know what I'm saying? Mostly they come from Brooklyn, and then we kind of just meet somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
Dog, it's just the oxtails, the jerk food. I had a neighbor named Bunny. He's just this short little old Trinidadian dude who made the best curry, shrimp, shark, fucking chicken, just like fuck, dude. And he's been doing this for years, bro. He does it with his eyes closed.
Dude.
You know what I'm saying? It was just so good, bro. So like I really enjoy, like when we're talking curries, like my heart's in the Caribbean, bro. Like I love the Asian curry, which I've discovered out here since I moved out here.
Mm-hmm.
I love Indian curry, but like my heart stays in
You wait till I
West
cook you some
Indies.
Thai curry though.
Okay.
I might change
No,
your heart.
I'm down with, bro, I'm down with Thai curries, and there's such a nice variation of them. You know what I'm saying? Like Penang curry, yellow curry, like the mango curries are fire. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, at Localis,
Fuck
like I
with
said, I've been to Thailand 5 times.
yeah.
I don't travel back to places normally. I'm all
no
into
shit.
go somewhere new. Go
So
somewhere
you're
new. Go
telling me
somewhere
what I
new.
need to know.
Yeah, and you see this massive mural. This is all Thai ingredients
Yeah.
on my leg. Like the
Oh, no
whole
way,
thing is
dude.
Thai ingredients.
Oh, that's tight,
So
bro.
I'm pretty serious about it.
Yeah, I see.
Now, when I say that, some people instantly want to use the word authentic, right?
Okay.
I hate that. I'm like, I'm not authentic Thai. I'm not Thai. I'm not from Thailand.
Sure.
I'm not going to spend the next 15 years learning how to cook Thai cuisine. But what I do know is that my talent, my God-given talent, is tasting food and being able to replicate that in a meaningful way, with my ingredients.
Nice.
So when we cook Thai food, like I've cooked Thai for Thai people and they're like, yo, this is legit. And there's no better compliment in the world than when you get that, So
Definitely.
I was on this TV show called The Globe, and Jazz Simsang, who is the owner and like chef now because, her partner, passed away a while back. It's been on Jonathan Gould's list of 100 best restaurants in LA, like hella years in a row.
No kidding.
It's out in West Hollywood. It's a dump. I mean, like it's next to a battery store,
Okay,
like,
okay.
and it,
No doubt.
but the food there is like, it's some of the best Thai food we've ever had. I got to take Jerome, one of
Nice,
my
dude.
close friends,
Nice.
and we ate, and we're both just like, damn, like every time I go, it hits. Like I went there with Harrison Barnes, the NBA guy, like,
Yeah.
yeah, I took
Wow.
him, and he was just like, yo, like this is so good.
Nice, dude.
But I cooked for her on a TV show,
Okay.
and I had to cook Thai food for her, and she like,
It's on, kid.
oh my gosh, yeah, talk about nerve wracking, and she like steps back from tasting my dish. I'll never forget this. It's like in my memory forever. She pulls back and she's like, you don't cook Thai food like you're cooking Thai food. You cook Thai food like you were Thai. And I was like, I cried. I was like, I could have gone
dude.
home right then and there. Of course, I did go and beat the whole show. So I did win that first season of The Globe on Food Network.
son.
But
Let's
nonetheless,
go. Just throwing it out there.
yeah, just throwing it out there,
You know what I'm saying?
humble brag,
You know what I mean?
But yeah, it was super fun. And to be able to cook for people like that in their cuisine and get the praise, like that's why I cook, man. Like there's nothing else to it. I don't make a whole lot of money at my restaurant, even though it's expensive. Like my people get all the money, like all of it. I'm not about the cash. I talk about my paranoia. On the other side of that, never been greedy. Don't give a fuck about money, so Let's give it to the people and let's cook really great food.
Yeah. Yeah,
You got to
I
come.
love that. I will.
You got to.
I will. One of my best friends went there for New Year's, for your New Year's dinner.
Sick.
Yeah, my buddy Chris and his wife Cindy. Yeah, dude.
They said it was
amazing.
Gangster? Okay, good.
Amazing.
Yeah, there you go.
And their foodie's like a motherfucker.
I love that, man.
Yeah, dude. So
I'd actually like to talk about that real quick. Like,
talk about it, bro.
The feeling of like working in a place like Localis. A lot of my people have worked in a lot of restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
It's not common for a restaurant, for people to be walking out the door and just stop and be like, I just want to tell you how amazing this meal is. I just want to tell you this is the best meal I've ever had. Like, and those are all really nice to hear, right? Mm-hmm. But without the context of where you've been, what does it really mean, right? Like, if you say this is the best restaurant I've ever been to, but you've only been to, P.F. Chang's and, some other place, no knock, whatever. You like what you like, but not a temple of gastronomy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thank you for the compliment, but like go out into the world, eat some really good food and then come back, because I want to be stacked up against the greats. I don't want to be stacked up. I mean, you're in this brand, it's the same thing, like the first time someone smokes, like you got to make sure it's like great, otherwise they're like, I don't like this,
Oh, that's a fact, bro. And to your point, they are very well traveled, probably some of the most traveled friends I have. So they have been all over the world experiencing food. So they gave it up for sure.
And that's cool. And I mean, that's you can't hear anything better as a business owner, especially in the world of, restaurants, which I'm sure is like one of the hardest industries on planet Earth to like be successful at.
Oh, absolutely. Woo. Absolutely. I was a business major in college, bro. I studied that shit and it is
it's
most.
Rough.
Yeah.
It's rough.
1 to 3 years, 90% of them fail.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
But that's the drive it's never been the money, like I'm never going to be in that realm of like, super wealthy doing a fine dining restaurant, but that's never been a thing for me. I just want to cook for people. When someone cries at my restaurant because of food memory or because something is so good that they're like overwhelmed with an experience, or when someone flies in to eat at Localis, like,
that's gangster,
I get
bro.
teary, dude. I'm like, I can't believe this person just did that. Like that's when you're on the right path.
Desserts on you if they do that.
Hell yeah, dude. Not just dessert, homie. I'm a little too giving. My business partners are like, yo, buckle that shit down. I'm like, but that's what we do. It's hospitality,
For sure.
I'm always a little over generous.
That's all right, man. That's
people
why you're
uncomfortable with
That's why you're successful, bro.
Yeah, I think so too, man. Like, it's for everyone. If it's just for you, it ain't no fun. Who wants to fucking celebrate alone?
Right.
Like, who wants to be in a room? Crazy story. When I won the Globe, it was during COVID. And I go through all the days of shooting and I beat everyone and I win. And they say, you just won 50K. You're the Globe Globe champion, blah, blah, blah. And then they rushed me off into a little trailer by myself.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you how weird that was for me to just be like ecstatic, bursting with like, you want to like, Dominique Crenn judged me for the final course, like these big name chefs, they're all like, you're the guy. And then you're by yourself. Yeah. I've never felt more underwhelmed by anything in my life. Cause I'm like, I just call my wife. I'm like, yo, I just won, like, holy crap. And she's screaming, but like, that's the only person around. And I was like, man, that's when it really like, that was that real world opportunity to learn a good lesson. Celebrate with your people, man. Celebrate with everyone around. Celebrate together so that you're all celebrating the same thing, because that's when it's like, that's when the magic happens, Yeah.
And celebrate with people that want to celebrate with you. That
100%. Team.
When good things happen to you. You know what I mean?
Team. Man, that's why I love podcasts, because there's no going back. Like, you're not going to edit something out, like you said. So that's what I love about this, because be real all the time. There's a chef, and I just watched a clip, and he's sitting there, and the guy's like, what's the biggest myth of the kitchen? And he's like, that it's about, the chef. And I was like, okay, I get that, whatever. And he's just like, you're fucking nothing without your team, like all this, blah, blah, blah. And that rhetoric got me so heated, because you know what I want from my team the very most? To be treated like everyone else. Yeah. Not to be treated like the owner, not to be treated like the head chef, the this, the that. Just treat me like I treat you. Do I treat you well? Do I respect you? Do I say please and thank you? Do I say hello? Do I hug you? Like, can you just treat me like everyone else? And when you do that, it's not about, you could say the same thing about the chef, like the team is, or the chef is nothing without the team. And I'm like, and the team's nothing without the chef. Like, it takes a coach and a team, like it's age old, like, but it always gets separated into this thing where a certain group has to get everything and the other group gets nothing, It's not like, why can't we just do this together, And I almost posted some shit, but you know how the internet be. It's like, nah, I'm not even going in that realm, but I want it to be like, why don't we all celebrate together? Like, you're really good at what you do. You write great menus. You're a good leader. You're a good this. You're a good that. Like, if your team is killing it, it's because you are part of that team. Like, so be good with like being happy for yourself as long as you're being happy for others as well. Like, I think that's the separation for me.
I love that, bro. Hell yeah. What's up, guys? Just want to take a quick second to shout out my sponsors over at Kaya Core. Clean cocoa trusted by top cultivators. Kaya Core premium grade clean cocoa core is trusted by and respected by cannabis cultivators for optimal plant health and performance. It's all about the terps and quality first before yields, which is driven through clean 100% core, which provides smooth stratification throughout the media. Sustainable and eco-friendly. Sourced from eco-friendly coconut fiber produced in our 100% sustainable operation in India. Kaya provides an environmentally conscious solution without compromising cultivation quality. Kaya washes the cocoa multiple times to ensure a clean starting base with less salinity from other cocoa manufacturers. The plastic pot is 100% biodegradable for a sustainable solution. Tailored for cannabis growth, Kaya Core products are developed from direct feedback and collaboration with top cultivators, offering superior water retention, root aeration, and nutrient absorption for healthier, more vigorous plants. They buffer the cocoa to less than 0.3 EC with calcium nitrate to provide the cultivator with a strong starting point for transplant. You will be shocked how clear the runoff is from this clean cocoa. Kaya uses coarse ground cocoa core to achieve the 70-30 blend versus perlite or chunks. Go hit up Kaya Core. Tell them Good Pizza sent you. So, like, walk me through the journey when Localis starts, bro. Like, how was that to open up? What were you thinking? Is this gonna fucking work? You know, for all the new entrepreneurs out there starting a business, you know what I mean?
Well, I was killing it in my career real quickly. I mean, obviously 5 years. I spent 1 year being a line cook, and the rest of the time I spent being a chef. Just so everyone knows my opinion on what a cook and a chef, what separates, because that's a heavy question. A lot of people have very different opinions about that.
Hit me, I'm curious.
I think that a cook cooks food and helps the team in every way, shape, and form. You know, the job description is long, but it's about cooking food, right? A chef is when you have to manage people and create the food that people are going to cook. When you're a teacher in your kitchen, when you are the backbone of how people do things and why, that's when you're a chef, to me. So I became a chef 2 years in, you know, like at Hapa Sushi, like I told you, I started the first day. They gave me that kitchen in 3 months. In 3 months' time, I had shown them enough that they're like, you can run the kitchen. Of course, my cocky ass was like, you bet your ass I can. It was terrible, dude. Like, come on, let's be honest. I was not good, but I was pushing so hard, you know. But that was bad and good for me. Good because obviously I showed the determination. Bad because I went to a high volume restaurant that was very established. I couldn't even hold my own ass up in my pants, dude. Like I was so far behind everyone else, and I was like, damn, I got a lot to learn here, you know. So that drive was in me, that dog. Like I've always been that way. I'm like, I'll be the best at this. Like in a year, you know? So I started going to town, and I actually had to go back because when I was running the kitchen I ran that kitchen for almost a year at Hapa Sushi, right? Like a long time. In that first year, I went back to being a cook for like maybe 6 months in a couple of other restaurants. I got an opportunity to open up this little Italian joint in Loomis called Cafe Zorro. And it was like old school out of a can Italian spot, you know, like they made some stuff, but it was more so like buy pizza sauce, add some stuff to it. That's our sauce, you know.
Gotcha.
I took over, transformed it into like Cal-Ital, you know, kind of like California Italian cuisine. Killed it, got to run a kitchen. The guy wasn't my favorite dude in the world, but he offered me bonuses if I made numbers. And so from the very beginning of running a kitchen, I'm like thinking about numbers, and I'm thinking about like all the things, the business. A lot of chefs love to cook, real bad at business. I didn't want to be that cook, that chef, you know,
smart.
like. So I took over Cafe Zorro for a couple of years, and then I moved around. I ran a country club and profited for the first time in the country club's history for food and beverage, you know, which I thought was a cool thing on my resume, you know, because that's hard to do. And then I got approached by another guy, opened up another restaurant that was semi-Italian, Mediterranean focused. And then I got hit up by these dudes that were running some restaurants in Sac, and they were like, hey, we want to open up this Italian restaurant, you know, like come do this and you can be a partner. I was like, I don't want to cook Italian food only. That's not for me. Like, I like all food. So they were like, well, what do you want to do? And I was like, Localis. I launched my business plan, which was my capstone project in culinary school. So in culinary school, you have to have this class where you like create a restaurant from the beginning all the way up.
Okay.
Localis was that.
Dude,
so I'd already been thinking about this. Remember when I started culinary school at 28 years old, 27 years old, 28 years old, whatever it is, I said, I'm going to have a Michelin star by the time I'm 40. That was a goal. And that's, once again, I didn't make that up. That's like, my wife will call me out on it because she loves to call me out on everything.
Yeah, that's what they do. That's part of,
that's part of the deal. Yeah, right.
Dog.
And you couldn't even get a Michelin star in Sacramento then. So it just shows how like naive I was, right? But the thing was like, it's a 12-year goal. How many people are setting like real goals like out there a ways? Like everyone's so instant now with, everything is, right away. How many likes in the first 24 hours, like everything's consolidated down.
Sure.
I'm like, think big, think long, like think 10 years from now, think, 5 years from now.
Yep.
But Localis was locked in my brain. They said they wanted to open it with me. They asked me to do all the business part to, project and sales. I did all of that stuff. Within 2 months, I knew that they were, they had no idea what they were doing in the fine dining world. We had no money, and we just opened up a pre-existing restaurant pretty much the same exact way.
Okay.
So I had to do my vision of like this fine dining restaurant in a pizzeria because that's really what it was before I got there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
But when I walk into the space, I forgot that part about Localis' journey. I've always had a vision of open kitchens. I like the authenticity of an open kitchen. I like that you see everything that's happening with the food and the people. There's no closed doors screaming, picking stuff up off the ground. Like it's all there.
Yeah.
So he takes me to the spot to check out what could be Localis. And the second I walk in, I had to literally like squash down the desire to scream, this is everything I've ever wanted in a restaurant.
Way,
yeah, it was like right when I walked in, I'm like, ugh. Oh my gosh. And I'm like freaking out inside, but I didn't want to tell him because then he's got something on me. You know what I mean? So I was like playing it cool. Yeah, exactly. And we ended up opening up. The first year was absolutely miserable. We fought like never before. Like I've never been in a partnership with anybody. I wasn't an actual legal partner either. Okay. I never got that part of the deal. Oh, man. Money missing, all the bad things that could happen in business. So I realized this was going to end, and thankfully I had put a trademark in for my name, Localis.
Okay, good.
So I used that as a bargaining tool, and in September 9th no, it's not September 9th. Is it September 9th? That's right, September 9th. In 2016, I took over as full owner. Within 6 months, we were doing triple the revenue that we did before. And then that year, we got into Eater's top 38 restaurants in California. Kept just getting like accolade after accolade. Business kind of took off. I reinvested every dollar for the first 2.5 years because we didn't have no money, remember? So our chairs were garbage. So people are like fine dining on trash, you know what I mean? Yeah. Our patio, was open. There was no windows. Now it's a full-on dining room. It's beautiful, but at the beginning it was literally a patio with like no windows and a canvas roof, So worked it up and just spent every dollar back into it. And then during COVID, did to-go the entire time. We never shut down. Yep, to-go tasting menus. Whoa. Yeah, got written up in Michelin Guide, top 10 restaurants in the world to do to-go food from. Wow, like during COVID. That was crazy, sick. Yeah, right? Like, what's funny too is that the Michelin Guide. East Coast has been around for long enough that it's part of the culture. On the West Coast, it is not part of the culture, dude.
Really?
Oh yeah. You know how many people I'm like, oh, I have a restaurant. They're like, oh, cool. What is it? I'm like, oh, it's a tasting menu. They're like, don't know what that is. So I'm like, oh, it's a Michelin Star. And they're like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, okay, yeah, I got you. Yeah, exactly. Right. That's like a common thing. So it's kind of, I'm so used to it from death metal, like just having people not get where I'm coming from. So I don't get offended anymore. I'm like, yeah, whatever, bro. Like, it's cool. I get it. But when you go to Europe, I get treated like royalty there. Like, it's so cool. Chefs will take me in and like, we'll hang out. We'll talk about like their life, how they cook, what they, order, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's been a crazy trek, man. And now we're the business is pumping. It's going extremely well. And now it's like, how do we actually make profit? Because we've been doing good since day one. We've never lost money, but at the same time, I've never really made money. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's kind of just like, we're doing good, but we're also not really like, I work a lot of hours. I'm like, at some point, a decade in, I'd like to start seeing something out of my restaurant, you know? So that'll happen eventually. That's kind of our mindset now that we're locked in, great business partners, great everything. Now it's like, how do we tweak the business so we can actually like make money,
Yeah. Yeah. Is it fair to ask, what is your favorite meal to prepare? Is that?
Oh, yeah, no sweat. Yeah.
What is that?
I mean, it's also a vibe, right? Like, how am I feeling?
Sure.
Who am I cooking for?
Okay.
But if I'm cooking for myself, better believe it's probably going to be a piece of grilled fish over some sort of rice with like a spicy ass like salsa over the top of it, like tropical fruit salsa, like Caribbean kind of flavors, but spicy. Maybe a little curry in the rice underneath, like Thai curry.
Okay.
But yeah, I cook a lot of Thai food for myself, and I just love grilled fish with like bright flavors. That to me is like that's a dish I think about often.
I don't like fishy fish. I like
clean fish. Yeah.
Clean fish or like nice flavor of fish that was added somehow.
Yeah.
What kind of fish we talking here? Like branzini or something?
Bronzinis are good. They're a little light for my liking because you can't cook them very well because they're you can cook them well. You can't cook them in different ways because they're so small.
Gotcha.
Right, so it cooks quick. So it's like you can only cook it a couple of ways and you're done.
Gotcha.
For me, fish like manchong, which is this like
that.
It's like a flat fish about this big around but pretty dense.
Nice.
The meat is in between something like swordfish and halibut.
Oh,
so I also love halibut, like, and I like California halibut. It's smaller. It's not these giant, you know.
Sure.
I love a lot of white fish, but to be honest with you, man, like as I continue growing as a chef, there's things I didn't like when I started, and I've grown to like certain things, and I still don't like certain things, like ham hocks and beans. That's like on the West Coast, like that's a thing that a lot of people ate. I will gag. Like I can't do it at all whatsoever. And I still try ham every single year at Easter, and I'm always just like, nah,
it's
dude.
Mids,
like,
bro. Ham's mids,
it's
bro.
Gross. It's below mids, man.
Yeah,
like,
dude, like,
ugh.
Oh, you fuck with pork roll?
Pork roll?
You ever been?
What's pork roll?
Oh my God.
What's pork roll?
I have a jewel for you, my friend.
Oh my god.
It's a Jersey delicacy.
Okay.
Okay. It's called the pork roll, egg and cheese, salt, pepper, ketchup. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you ever have like Dominican salami?
Yes.
Okay, so you cut it off the roll and you fry it.
Yeah.
Same shit.
Okay.
It's like this tangy pork. It's okay. So there's also a little rival in New Jersey. Is it called sauce or gravy? Is it called Taylor ham or is it called pork roll? Because the brand is called Taylor ham, but it's Taylor ham pork roll. So half of Jersey says Taylor ham, half says pork roll, half says sauce, half says gravy. So it's like this big fucking argument in Jersey, whatever. You can't even go to New York and get this shit. You can get it like maybe a little bit outskirts of Jersey and PA, but like you go anywhere, like what do you, pork roll? I don't understand.
I sure as hell didn't know what a pork roll was. So yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
So I'm gonna get you a roll.
Okay.
You just slice it, fucking fry it, have it with a fried egg, American cheese on a Kaiser roll.
Okay.
You'll thank me later, bro.
Sesame seeds, yeah, like
sesame seeds, poppy seed, whatever's your twist.
Yeah, that's
you know
right.
What I'm saying?
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Oh fuck yeah, dude. If you're ever in Jersey at a diner, that's what you order.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I got it. All right. I will. Yeah. I'll be in Jersey. I mean, I go to New York a lot, you know, like I actually, when you were telling me about your childhood, growing up with all your friends from all over the world and their moms cook different foods and you get used to eating this and this and that. And that's like jealous. I'm jealous, dude. Like I couldn't imagine as a kid being exposed to all those flavors. I probably would have not been an electrician. I probably would have gone just into cooking.
Right.
Because I've always loved food. I've always been fat. So it's just the way that it is, you know, like I love eating.
Yeah, man. The East Coast or the Northeast is super locked in with like Italian food, Spanish food, and like hood Chinese food and like chicken shacks and shit. And like you got your nice restaurants, but like that's like most of the staples and like, you know, burgers, cheesesteaks, shit like that. Cause when I go, I eat clean out here, bro. I lost 10 pounds like first 6 months I lived here.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Then I go back home like, fuck, how did I eat this shit all the time? God
dude.
Damn, dude.
It's
Carb
heavy.
City. It's so heavy, bro.
It's heavy.
Fuck. And there's a lot of beer drinking out there.
Oh yeah.
Big beer drinking.
100%.
Northeast.
Playing those shows with the hardcore bands over there in Jersey, like
blue collar, fucking have some beers after work, fucking, you know
what's
what I mean?
crazy about the Jersey metal scene? We played in Clifton.
Clifton, that was right next to my town, bro.
Yeah.
Right next to Montclair, bro.
And we played with Waking the Cadaver and a couple of other like, you know, New Jersey slam bands. Slam is like hardcore extreme, right?
Okay.
So it's the same like dun, 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 and everyone's like mosh pitting, going crazy.
Fuck yeah.
And I remember that whole night feeling like that place was gonna explode in a fight. But it never did. Yeah. People were chill, but Jersey throws an energy that you're just like,
rowdy, bro.
Woo, you know,
It's
like,
rowdy.
you're kind of waiting for something to pop off, but it doesn't because people are chill, you know, like they're good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed my time in Jersey, man. It was fun. It was different.
Yeah, Jersey's its own breed, bro, and different than New York.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? It's different
100%.
than New York. I mean, people ball us together if you've never been out there because maybe we kind of talk similar, but like, Yeah, bro. It's definitely its own little, and nobody likes us. Everybody were like, fuck you. We don't like you either. You know what I mean? I'm from Jersey. We don't like you either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's kind of like, we're used to being like dirty Jersey or like New York's backyard or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but it's never like no issues with Jersey and New York are like cousins. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
And if you're from North Jersey, you're a New Yorker. If you're
Yeah.
from South Jersey, you're like a Philly guy. You know what I mean?
got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You fucking, you go Phillies and fucking, you say John and shit. Like you say Philly slang, you know what I mean? If you from up north, is, you know, you're a New Yorker. And it's probably where your family came from too.
Totally. Yeah. That's crazy, man. I love learning those pieces of knowledge about like a place.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to pick that up in any other way than a good conversation, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And nowadays,
definitely.
not a whole lot of people having really good conversation. That's why I love podcasts.
so
I love this
surface
idea.
level,
of just,
bro.
yeah. Like, all right, so I always ask a question,
Yeah,
and
hit
I
me.
know that some people watching this are going to be like, he's asking him, because I ask everyone when I travel.
Please do.
All over the world.
tired of asking questions
It's a
on my
good
show.
way.
Please talk to me.
It's a good way to get to like, if someone's cool, if I catch a vibe early and I'm like, ooh, this person could be cool. I want to
Yeah.
get in right away. Like, let's
You
not
should.
waste any more time, right? Like, let's
Dude,
get in.
That's
let's
fucking
go.
how it should be, bro.
What's the one word you want to be remembered by?
Loyal.
Damn, quick.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Loyal is up there. I would say it's probably like top 10. Because I've probably asked like over 1,000 people this question now. So you kind of start feeling a dynamic of like ones that you hear a lot, ones that you hear rarely. Like there's some crazy answers that have come from that question. I'm like, whoa, dude, but loyal.
Give me one you wasn't expecting.
Right.
Right.
I was like, whoa.
Okay, bro. I'm not gonna argue with you about
Right?
anything.
I was like, all right, you know, like that's, you get what you get, you know, like,
I was right, goddammit.
yeah, 100%.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But it's a fun question.
That is a fun question. I like that.
Because then it usually starts some sort of conversation, you know, like about why that is, you know, like to me, the most important thing is honesty. Like if you're honest with yourself first, you have to start there.
Yeah.
I would say that like upper 90% of us aren't really that honest with ourselves. We tell ourselves what we want to hear. We excuse our actions. We justify. We do these things like, so I'm honest first with myself. That gets rid of a lot of drama and things in your life. And then you're honest with everyone, like your wife, you're honest with your kids, you're honest with your friends, you're honest with these people. That's my whole life wrapped up in a nutshell. So
Nice.
That's the most important thing. And as a paranoia person, that's my cure, right? Because if everyone's honest, like if I'm hanging out with you and I know that if I said something, did something, whatever else, it'd be a quick conversation of like, hey, what's up? You know, then that pressure goes away, right? Because I don't have to worry about you turning around away from me to the other people and being like, oh man, you know, like fuck this guy, whatever else. Like, and that's my paranoia brain. So the honesty is like, I think now that I've, you know, really got interested in psychology and like why I feel the way that I feel and think the way I think, that's really come in. I'm like, that's why, of course. Like it's my battle against that is being like, well, if you're good and you're honest and I can always trust you, then I can be relaxed. Then you can actually get to know who I really am because now we can talk.
Yeah, definitely. I too am very into psychology, the human mind. Why do we do the things we do?
Yeah.
Why do we get stuck in the situations we get stuck in? You know, because I was in sales growing up, and like, you know, I did a lot of recruiting, and I had to understand people and how to lead somebody to a decision, and like, you know, you learn all these things and these nuances. And I was a leader. I had a big team in another business, and like, you have to lead people, and like, you really have to understand, you know, character types of people, what motivates people,
Totally.
how to tune people into WIIFM, what's in it for me, their favorite radio station. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. So that's cool. What got you into that? Like wanting to know about the human mind.
That's a dark conversation, brother. Like real dark.
going
I'm down
left?
to have it.
You
I'm
wanna
down to
take a
have
left?
it.
Let's hang a left.
Let's go. Let's go into it.
Let's go. All right,
If
dive
you
in.
run away from the shit you're scared of, you never face it.
No,
Like,
I mean, let's take a left down that
let's,
block.
let's go. Let's go. Yeah, okay.
I'm riding with you.
Never happy. Like I told you, I alluded slightly to the fact that I felt out of place as a kid.
Okay.
Because my dad came on board, Kevin, who is my dad, right? Like he raised me. I love that man. We're hella close now. But growing up, he was not stoked that he had to marry a chick that had a kid.
I got you.
He was like, this kid, you know, like I don't want this kid.
Sure.
And so I was always different. And I had two siblings. They had two siblings, you know, my brother and sister, Jake and Amanda. And they're like 5 and 6 years younger than me.
Okay.
That was Kevin, my father, you know, that was his kids.
It was his kids. So
I always felt on the outside. I definitely got picked on, you know, like,
sure.
and I, like I said, I made it hard on myself because I was, you know, constantly complaining about everything. So not really happy as a kid, you know, like, and growing up and not being happy and then, you know, getting out into the world and not being happy. And even when I had all the success, not happy, like got the girl, not happy. Like I got my high school sweetheart. Like, we're married. We've been together in the same home for 20 years now. But she wanted nothing to do with me at freshman orientation when I saw her the first time and was like, that's my girl right there.
Damn.
You know, like, yeah, true story. We can get into that later.
For sure.
But, you know, things happened in my life and I put myself in enough positions of just feeling not good about the world. I became a pretty brutal atheist. I hated religion. I like to debate people about it. I got real dark, man. And even when people were like, man, look at you got it all going on. I was like, inside, I'm just like, I hate everything. And I hate myself and I hate, you know. And in 2019, I started getting real bad. And I was like, man, maybe I can read some books about why I am this way. Like, what's wrong with me? It's not the world. At that point in time, I had that harsh reality that it's not everyone else. Yeah. It's me, you know? And when you have that reality as someone in my way, it makes it even darker because you're like, damn, it is me, you know? Yeah. So I started reading a lot of books, psychology, and even into some other realms, you know, like just trying to figure out spirituality, you know, different people, different walks of life, like trying to figure out what was wrong with me. Mm-hmm. And I started getting really into it, and I went and tested, and I have a pretty high IQ, you know, and I think that that's another way that it's harder to conversate with people. Because whereas I'm already thinking 25, 30 steps ahead, I'm like, yeah, it's right here. And then someone's like, hey, by the way, let's start here. And I'm like, no, let's just go right over here, right? Yeah. Now, people with a high IQ, you would think that's like a brag. It's not. IQ doesn't really help a whole lot of people unless you can find a way to do it. But what it really does is make it hard to communicate sometimes. Yeah. You know? And it got really dark, man. And I tried to take my life in 2020. And literally kind of like witness divine intervention in a way for me. And I can't explain it. And people want to like either take it away or, you know, call it something crazy. But all I know is I was there that day and I shouldn't be here today. And I am. So forever grateful. But that's what got me into psychology, and like, you know, that whole thing was trying to figure out like, what the hell's wrong with me, man? God, you know, bro. Like, I think more people need to be that honest with themselves, you know, and not in a negative way, but in a real way where you can like I said, do things in the past. I'm not proud of things I've done, this and that. But at the end of the day, nowadays, when I walk around, everyone knows exactly where I'm at all times, whether they like it or not. And some people don't like it, you know? So psychology for me is important because I'm like living in a world now where I'm thankful for everything. I'm happy. I'm not looking to fight everyone. I'm not like, you know, I'm in a different place. Good. And my marriage is better and my kids are better and everything's better. And, you know, it's been really great learning about why people do what they do, you know? Yeah. Yeah, that's good, man. Well, I'm glad you're still with us, bro. Me too, man. Scary, Me too. Seriously. I lost my bro. You know what I'm saying, to that, you know what I'm saying? So that's like really serious for me. Like, I'm so thankful that you made it through, super bro. Serious. I take that very seriously. If any friend ever gives me the, you know, I'm on them. I'm like, best believe I'm answering. No matter what time of night it is, dude, someone calls, I'm like, even an enemy. I did that once. I picked up the phone to someone who did not like me because I'm like, you're calling me at 3:30 in the morning. Answer, you know what I mean? Answer, talk. And they were in a spot, you know, and part of our, you know, journey was why they were feeling the way they were feeling. So, you know, to have the opportunity to be like, you're good. I don't care. Like that past, done. I don't care. Like, let's move on. And in being able to release that gave him the opportunity to like, okay, so, you know, there's things to look at now. There's positives. So always answer the phone. Always answer the phone for people. Like, and check on your people, man. Check on your people. Especially strong ones. The ones that seem strong all the time, bro. That was me, dude. Everyone's like, oh, he's got it all going on. And inside, I'm like, no, I don't. That was him, dog. That was him. I don't. Yeah. That was him to this day. We're like, what's his name? Niall. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll put that in my thoughts, man. Like, yeah. Thanks, bro. How long ago? 2002. Whew. Yeah. 2002. Yeah. I was 19. He was 18. Damn. Yeah, crazy, bro. Crazy. That's, I mean, you're at the beginning, you know, so, like that kills me. It kills me. And you know what's tripped out? Cause like I think about it, right? I'm like, wow. You know, I call my, we weren't brothers, but we were like brothers, you know what I'm saying? Came up together. Of course. From like, but watch this. It was only 12 to 19. That's 7 years, right? But when you're 19, that's almost half your life. Totally. Those are like your conscious years. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that's like, you know, I think of it now, knowing somebody 7 years, you know, I don't know that I was that close with them. Yeah. You know what I mean? But back then, that shit mattered. You know what I mean? And he was like my little big brother. Like, he was so advanced and so, like, ahead of everything. He had big brothers, you know, that were, like, super gangsters and shit. Like, so he had this ill upbringing and, like, was just fucking just this fearless little
fucking force, bro. And just like the illest dude ever, bro. And like, yeah, man.
Oh, well,
check
rest
on
in
your
peace
people.
now.
Yes, rest in peace, bro.
dope.
Yeah, that's him right here, man. Ills, we call him Ills. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
That's my bro. I take him everywhere. I'm a graffiti artist, so I always throw him up wherever I go. You know what I'm saying?
that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, graffiti is
My angels, man.
It's cool, man. I
Ills
dig
and bugs, man.
dig it. I
Yeah.
love all of it. Like as an artist, I mean, I've been an artist my whole life.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I picked up a guitar at like 5 years old, and that was it.
Tight, bro.
And then I did charcoal drawing, oil painting, clay.
Oh, that's
like
cool.
any kind of art medium I can get my hands on, I'm in.
Nice.
But I can tell you right now, as an artist, as you too, there is no greater art form on planet Earth than food.
You're right, bro. It's the only time, and I lost Ills and my grandmother that I just told you about in the same month. I was 19 was the worst year of my
jeez.
life, bro. It broke me and it made me. You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
And when I cook, bro, I never feel closer to her. Like there's nothing happening around me, bro.
Yeah.
I throw on a little Frank Sinatra and I'm just fucking in my own world, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the memory.
It's amazing.
In the actual like physical way of it, I say this, you know, in my opening conversation or on the painter's palate, which is a dish on my menu that never leaves. And it says, you know, like you don't taste music and you don't hear a drawing, but when you're dining, every sense that you have as a human being is being engaged.
Oh my God.
Right? Like it's
You're
kind of
right,
crazy
dude.
that it's
Never thought of that.
beyond
That's
the memory and
beautiful,
beyond
bro.
that, but like real talk, like provable facts, like no other art form you know, is part of every single thing that you are as a human. It's part of it, you know, when you're eating.
And memory too.
Memory,
God,
all of it. I mean, yeah,
dog,
it's that
nothing's
sixth
like the
sense, you
sense,
know, like
the smell.
totally,
You know what I'm saying?
dude. Yeah, I can hear certain things too, like the sizzle of a pan, you know. I can turn around and be like, that pan's not hot enough. And he's like, what? I'm like, I can hear it, you know. The crunch of something, like obviously the flavors, the smell. I mean, it's all five senses working and overtime when you're in a dining experience, you know, like that's why the open kitchen, that gives you now access to the hearing and all of that kind of stuff, you know. It's cool. It's cool shit.
Yeah, I remember running up my grandmother's steps, you know, and about halfway up, you start smelling it. And you're like, ooh, baby.
Yeah, what's she cooking tonight?
Yeah, and then
you
I
know,
get
like,
there, and like I was her first grandson, so it was like she was such a fucking angel. She
What
was
was her
just
name?
like Ann Casali.
Ann Casali.
Yeah, you could Google her, check the books.
Yeah,
and shit.
yeah.
And you know, she'd always make it sound like she made the whole menu for me. Yeah, John Paul, I made this that you like. John Paul, I made that you like. John Paul, I made this.
Oh
that
my
you.
gosh.
You know what I'm saying? It was just like always for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She loved to cook for people, and it was just like so selfless, bro.
I think that's why
beautiful.
America has such a bright future. I mean, everyone talks about what's wrong with us.
Yeah.
But when you look at where all these people come from, you know, and like the way that the world treats food and the way that we treat food, we just haven't learned yet to like respect food on a greater way.
Sure.
We don't respect food in America. We don't. You
No,
know, our government doesn't respect food.
Dude, no.
In general, we don't respect food. And when we start doing that, you're going to watch the whole world change, because that's where it's like, you know, fast food is like stopping into a little bistro, you know, un brioche café.
Yeah,
Por favor.
yeah,
You know? And the guy looks at you and he's like, boom, boom.
Un
There you
brioche,
go.
un café, sí.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah,
when I was
bro.
in Italy, like I always
Ogni
try to learn a
giorno.
little bit, you know, I try to get like,
bro,
try
that's
to,
all that you got, bro.
that's it, you know.
Oh, let's watch this. First place we went to for breakfast in Sicily. My wife, you know, she's black and she's American as fuck, and she's like, nah, I want sausage, I want eggs, I want to fucking some cheese, and this beautiful Sicilian woman, she's like, okay, we'll make it happen for you. Me and my mother like, yeah, due arancini, per favore. You know what I'm saying? Bring me a big fucking arancini and leave me alone.
Yeah,
And
right?
un cafe. So our arancini comes out, and then here comes my wife's meal. It's like this chopped up fucking sausage. You got a fucking 2 hard-boiled eggs, 2 pieces of cheese just sitting there, and a fucking roll of bread. I'm like, you see that? That's what you get.
Yeah, that's what you get.
You better fucking eat it too.
That's right. That's right. Dude, I think that's so funny. Like, I call, like, I love Mikuni. By the way, you know, shout out, whatever.
Fuck
Like,
some Mikuni, man.
It's good, right? But I call it white girl sushi.
No doubt.
Now, I
No
call
doubt.
it that because, you know,
doubt.
it's fried, it's got cream cheese in it, it's got a lot of sauce, you know, and I love it. Don't tell me, I mean, just because I can say that, like, people get offended when I say that. They're like, oh, and I'm like, the funniest thing when you tell me about your wife and she's black, right? Like, if you said that same story, you'd be like, that's a white chick for sure from America, right? Like, it doesn't matter what color your skin is, bro. Like, if you're an American girl, you're an American girl. Like, that's what it is,
For
you know? Like, I love that. That's so fun, man.
That's cool. What's up, guys? Just want to take a quick second to shout out my sponsors over at Grove Bags. Listen, Grove Bags are hands down the best way to store your cannabis. Forget jars, forget Mylars. Nobody does it like Grove bags. Listen, it's a 6-layer non-static bag. State-of-the-art technology. It's gonna keep your weed fresher for longer. It keeps your cannabis between 58 and 62% humidity at all times, the optimal humidity to store cannabis. It's gonna increase your shelf life, help prevent mold, weight reduction. Hands down, it's the best product out there. We don't use anything but Grove bags at Good Pizza. And especially if your product is in stores, we all know there's some shelf life issues at the stores. This is gonna keep your product lasting longer on those shelves. So when your customer goes to try it, it's gonna be fresh cannabis. Listen, if you wanna store your cannabis the proper way, use Grove bags. Use promo code PIZZA with 3 Z's. That's PIZZZA. Tell them Good Pizza sent you. It was cool. And
Did
they
you
were.
end up trying some good food though?
Oh, of course.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
that was one and done. She's like, all right, I get it. It's fine.
Yeah,
It's fine. Let's just do this.
Yeah,
Let's do
now
this.
she's
You know
like,
what I'm
"Ah,
saying?
cheese, por favor."
Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly, man. So yeah, it was a dope experience. Now we did go to the supermarket and get what she wanted to
Of
cook.
course,
and we made our American breakfast. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
you want a little home when you travel.
Yeah,
There's nothing
dude.
wrong with it. I
I
bring
like
my
it.
own coffee.
Yeah, same.
Everywhere I
same.
go, I bring my
What
own
do you-
coffee,
What do you
man.
like? What kind of coffee?
Oh, dude, I'm a snobby mother effer, man.
Ooh, talk to me,
I like
brother.
third wave coffee.
Okay.
Meaning,
Is that the brand or
No,
what-
no, no, no.
or-
That's the style.
The style,
So
okay.
like first generation is like Italian coffee, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna hurt your heart. I don't like Italian coffee.
That's okay.
I don't like it at all.
That's okay.
It's so acrid and bitter, and I'm just like, nah, dog.
Yeah,
And then there's second wave coffee. That's like Starbucks and Pete's. Right, like a little bit more elevated. They're sourcing a little differently. They're not roasting as dark, but still too dark for my palate.
Sure.
And then there's third wave coffee, which is now like growers and producers are working in unison, fair trade coffee, like giving the farmer the right price, having it done the right way, smaller batches, and then roasting it lighter so you get more of the flavor compounds. You get more of like, there's acidity along with it, which some people, don't like that in their coffee. I get it. But when you learn to love it, like the fruit acidities of coffee, there's so many great correlations between weed and coffee too.
Sure. Whoa, no shit.
Like I'm into, I'm into I want to bring third generation, weed as a thing, right? Like where that means like, let's take it beyond and have it be part of our culture the same way that other high-end materials are. Like coffee people go crazy for coffee. Like when you're in that world, they live and breathe it. Like everything is about coffee. Same in this industry,
Sure.
same in the wine industry, same as all these different industries,
Yeah.
But for sure, like I love the idea of good coffee meaning more than just like a brand, because for me, it's hard to go to the store and get coffee. It's all too burnt for me. It's too this, it's too that. I like a lot of local producers. My favorite coffee right now is Flower Child Roasters in Oakland. Shout out for sure. Like incredible guy.
Fire.
Yeah, I mean, just like fire, amazing. And then my manager at Betty, my wine bar, we do amazing coffee there. So you should go and see what, because
I would love to.
If Sam's there, I'm going to tell you, like, I don't think coffee gets better.
Okay.
Period.
Okay,
like
cool.
with whatever you
I
drink.
love coffee.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm just not
And-
very well versed.
Of
I'm
course,
like
yeah.
Cafe Bustelo every day.
Yeah, there you go, right?
That's my jam.
Yeah, there you go. So it might take you knowing that. Let's curate an experience so that you're not thrown completely out of your comfort zone.
No doubt.
Right?
No
Like
doubt.
let's do little segments. Like
Sure.
let's try this. It's closer to what you like, but it's a little more this way. My
Cool.
wife, she's a coffee drinker. She don't give a fuck what it tastes like. She does now, but when we met, like, no, dude, it was like hotel room coffee. Yeah. And
Oh,
I was
fuck
like,
no.
hell no, right? Like, yeah.
Oh, hotel and diner coffee.
Oh, but
Fuck
diner
no.
coffee? Yo, it's
poo.
it's the worst, man.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
Yeah,
Oh.
all bad. I remember going to a New Jersey diner because you
Fucking
have to when
misery.
you're there, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah, of
and we're a
course.
bunch of metalheads,
Yeah.
all looking like shit. It's 2:30 in the morning, and we're eating.
Yeah.
And I taste that coffee. I'm like, nope, done. Like, just I put it down. I was
so
like, no,
bad,
dude.
bro.
Every cafe is
So
the
bad.
worst, but.
And then you
Yeah.
dial it, and then here she goes, "You want some more, honey?" Doesn't even listen to you. Fucking just puts it. I gotta fucking remix this thing again, lady. Jesus Christ.
And for me, there's no remixing those flavors. Like, I don't care how much sugar and cream you put
Nah,
in it.
bro.
It's nasty, dude. Like,
Are you cream and sugar or straight up?
straight.
Straight up.
Oh,
I
yeah.
figured.
I like cappuccinos. My favorite is a cortado. I feel that that's the perfect blend because extracted coffee in that way with pressure and then non-pressure extracted coffee tastes very different. Same beans,
Yeah.
same roast, same everything, but the preparation is very different.
Interesting. The pressure probably brings more of the terps out.
Oh, for sure it does. You know, Jerome is like a really, you know, great guy when it comes to coffee and was in that world for a while.
Okay.
It's like the loudest volume possible, you know, where, so when you're there, you're at a concert, you know, so when you're in concert mode, you're in concert mode.
Sure.
But when you're at home, high as fuck, like, and you want to put on a vinyl and you just want to like chill with your wife on the couch, that's going to be a lower level. Still as enjoyable. That to me is like the difference between drip coffee and, you know, espresso.
Sure.
So I like cortado because it's the right amount, just a little bit of milk, doesn't take over the coffee, but it just richens it up a little bit, makes the palate a little bit softer, you know, like, so I love that. I'll drink that a lot. But if I'm drinking coffee, it's black for sure.
Do you pair weed with coffee?
Oh yeah.
Cushion coffee?
Cushion coffee is actually my pairing. Nice. Kush as a flavor because remember,
like
I'm
OG
old school.
Type shit.
All these new brands, Schnickel Fritz, you know, Double Down, you know, whatever it is. Like I don't know any of those things anymore. But back in the day, like I could smoke and tell you exactly what it was. You know, like this is LA Confidential. This is Headband. This is Goo. This is this is Star's Granddaddy Perps, the originator who I got to meet back in the day. You know, like the guy that created Granddaddy Perps. Those flavors are forever locked in, and LA Confidential and Third Wave Coffee from like, because where it's from is different. You get Kenyan, African coffees, Ethiopia, they're going to be much more like blueberry and those kind of fruits, very fruit forward, you know, reds and purples and blues. Then you get into like Colombia, it's a little bit more rich, like salty caramel, like those kind of flavors. Like, so that's what I'm saying. We can curate an experience where we'll get closer to that, because when you're drinking Ethiopian coffees, they are like acidic in a good way. Like good acid in wine is good, you know what I mean? But and even the wine world tells you not to speak in acidities. Don't say that. It's bad for the guest. And I'm like, but that's what it is. High acid is good in a wine if you want it there, you know? Okay. So acid in coffee, same exact thing.
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna roll up some of my favorite flavors that I enjoy with coffee. And then, you know,
baby, let's do it.
And we'll fucking have a proper.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Coffee,
that sounds so fun, man. I'm down for that.
Hell yeah.
Anytime that I get to like interact with different parts of my life that I love, I'm like, hey, now if these two can live together, I can get up with some coffee and get down with some weed. Like that's the perfect balance.
Because honestly, typically I don't like the two together because the caffeine kills my high. But if I got the fucking perfect flavor to go with the coffee, and it's like maybe a little like a light sativa, not sativa dominant, but it is a sativa cross. Like I feel like it does complement well. And like I don't typically like lemon terps, lemonine, but like some lemon with some gas, bro, with some coffee. Fucking how you doing?
Dude, I mean, I voted for lemonade on the Doink episode that I did.
Yeah.
Not my
the
preferred
from,
flavor,
Stir,
dude.
Right?
Yeah. No, it was from
Like Mike.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, for sure.
No, Like Mike was the Kush version.
Okay.
And,
who was the contender?
Oh my gosh.
It was two homies.
No, David, is it? No, it's the...
So Like Mike's on Team Preferred.
Yeah.
And then it was versus so is the fucking...
So it was the
Blaine,
guy that was...
dude.
Blaine,
it was Blaine.
Blaine,
They're
Blaine.
both
Thank you.
Preferred.
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
Blaine. Yeah, Lemonade Blaine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was
dude.
like, yo, this is fire. Like,
yeah, dude.
And then I instantly started thinking about like grilled fish, and then I started thinking about Chardonnay, and I started thinking about Riesling with things, and I started thinking about all the things in my brain, and then I went and pulled that Riesling to pair with his, and they didn't even know they were drinking like a $300 Riesling either.
Yeah.
I didn't want to make it a thing. I'm like, that's not what it's about. You know what I mean? But taste it, you know, like, because you tell people that, and then they're like, oh, I love it because it's expensive, you know, like, so sometimes I just like,
think you're supposed to love it.
Yeah. I'm just like, blind is the best, you know, like, just try it. Do you like it or not, you know?
Definitely. Yeah. When I saw Paul's reaction when he was doing that, and he was kind of the one that started this whole thing with Proper, or at least showed Adam the light, I was very interested. I was like, damn, you got Paulie's on this shit? Okay, cool, man.
Yeah.
So I was very interested to get into that world. But speaking of wine, let's talk a little bit about your wine bar, right?
Yeah, Betty. Yeah.
Betty's Wine Bar?
Betty's been open for almost 2 years.
Separate entity?
Separate, yeah.
Separate premises, all that?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, this is on T and 11th, 1103 T Street.
Okay.
Betty Wine Bar, it's an old brick building, beautiful. I was approached out of the blue, and this person that owned it was like, hey, I'm moving, I need to get out, and I think that you'd be a good fit. Oh, and nice. I had been there a couple weeks previous, and it was just like it kind of started falling in place. And then on top of that, Betty, you know, I was the only grandchild of Betty and Harold growing up.
Shit.
So I spent my whole life with summers up in Mount Shasta with my grandma Betty.
Cool,
my
man.
Nana.
That's cool,
and,
man.
So everything just seemed right. It was like, I got to do this. And we did. We flipped it. We've been up and running for almost 2 months now. It's been absolutely killing it. It's super. Have you ever been to Paris?
No, I haven't. Not.
Okay, so a Parisian bistro. Let me throw some hardcore shade right now. You down with that?
Oh, fuck yeah.
I'm gonna throw it hard.
Hit
Okay. When I took over Betty, I had all this feedback. And, you know, you ruined this great place because it had been open for like a year and a half, right? Like almost 2 years. It wasn't making it, by the way. That's why I bought it, you know? So nonetheless,
Sure.
I won't get off on a tangent there. Jerome's like, chill.
No doubt.
So I got all this heat about how I ruined it. And it used to be this beautiful Parisian, you know, bistro. And now it's just this restaurant. And I'm like, these people have never been to Paris, yo. Like, the aesthetics of those bistros don't mean shit, dude. They're not about that. All the seating's outside. The Parisian bistro theme is you walk up in the morning, you get a coffee and a croissant. Yeah. You go back at lunchtime, you have maybe a glass of wine, or maybe you're working, so you have tea and you have a salad. Then you come back at nighttime with your wife and you have a nice bottle of wine and a decent meal. It's never fancy, it's never pretentious, it's always just chill. It's like outside, it's open, it's airy, it's nice. Yeah. That's what a Parisian bistro is. So all y'all people that keep talking to me about the aesthetics of my space making it Parisian or not, you're missing the whole fucking point, dude. Like, the whole vibe is what it is, you know? And because you don't want to come and take Instagram photos of the space now, doesn't matter to me because everyone's Instagramming the food and the wine and the coffee.
That's right.
What's important here? Yeah. Those things. Yeah, what you know, I don't, and the space is beautiful, dude. It's beautiful. Nice. Let the building be what it is, you know, like, and it's killing it, man, because people get it. But Sam, who was doing this pop-up coffee called Everyday Having Fun. Now, you go to LA often?
Not really.
There's a coffee shop down there called Destroyer.
Okay.
It's ran by a 2-star and a 1-star chef. So like pedigree, right? But it's a really well done bistro. Like it's got coffee, it's got food, and that's it, right? Like it's done very well. I love the place. Every time I go to LA, I'm there. Sam from Everyday Having Fun, a pop-up coffee spot, walks into Betty. Jerome and we talk. He's like, yeah, I managed Destroyer for a couple of years. And I was like, no way, you know, like, and he was looking to do a pop-up in Betty. We needed coffee and wanted to link up. Bro. And then boom, boom. Now he's not even going to be doing Everyday Having Fun for a while, at least, because he's so into what we're doing at Betty. Yeah. Because it was the perfect fit. Like that dude walked into our lives, like literally walked in and we just riff. The first day we were there, we were just talking forever. And that's the guy. He threw everything I knew about coffee. Keep in mind, like I was a partner in a coffee shop for 6 years, third wave. So the kind of style I like, right? Like super successful. Everyone loves the coffee. This dude throws everything that I thought I knew about coffee on its head. Damn. He's like long pulling shots and doing all this weird stuff, which, you know, that vernacular you don't know yet. No. But like for me, I'm just like, you can't have an 80-gram pour on like, you know, espresso. That doesn't work. And then I'm like, holy shit, that's the best I've ever had, you know? So that cat is so essential. And like, that's what I truly believe now as a happy person. Yeah. And it tracks like all these other happy people. And then like him and I have this like very grounded understanding of each other and what we're looking for out of each other. And you know, what we say we mean and these things like, but he's the guy that's going to take you from coffee. And I'm going to tell him about you. And what was the kind of coffee that you drink?
Bustelo.
Bustelo.
Cafe Bustelo, yeah.
Okay, Cafe Bustelo. We got to remember, you're going to help me remember that? All right. But yeah, we'll start there and then we'll move you up and pretty soon you'll be fucking pinky in the air. Like,
that's right. Hell yeah, bro.
But instant coffee nowadays is really good.
Okay.
So I bring my third wave coffee as instant. All I need is hot water. So it's easy. And I'm just like, I get good coffee. Like having a cup of great coffee in Italy for me was like, I'm on Sicily, you know, I was staying in Catania, you know. So we're staying in Catania and I'm the most beautiful house on the fucking ocean in the morning with my wife drinking good coffee. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Get the fuck out of here, right? I mean, like, done. Sure. So, yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah. I got to explore that side of the island. My people are from Palermo, so we're on the other side of the island.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I need to go check out Catania City.
You know, when we were there, we're on a yacht. We got friends. I don't know if you experience the same thing. Like I'm not a millionaire. I'm nowhere close, dude. Like there's times where we like need a paycheck still, you know, to these days. Like we're doing fine, but you know, whatever. We're not wealthy. But because of this access that we have into this world, like we have friends that are like, you know, when someone you're in Sicily and they're like, hey, I'm going to be in Sicily. Like, you guys want to come out on a yacht, and spend all day? And I'm like, well, fucking duh. I mean, come on,
Yeah, I would
like,
actually.
So my family gets to chill on this yacht, like we're
great.
we're in the bay, out in Taormina.
Yeah, Taormina.
Oh my God, right?
Oh,
yeah, like get over it, dude. Like,
it's the first place I ever been to when I visited Sicily.
Oh, it's beautiful,
gorgeous.
And we're watching Mount Etna erupt a little bit.
Yeah, you can see Mount Etna from over there.
Oh yeah, we're watching it erupt.
Yeah, just fucking,
and I'm like, oh, what's going on?
Regular thing,
oh
bro.
no, dude, that thing erupted for the worst it has in the past 100 years and shut down the airports. We couldn't get home.
Oh my God, what year was this?
This was last year.
When'd you go?
June, July of last year.
Bro,
look it up on the news.
We were in Sicily at the same time, bro.
No.
I went for my 40th birthday the week of June 16th, like the 10 days in between there. I was just on the other side of the island, bro.
So
I was in Trabia, which is like central north, you know what I'm saying?
So we ended up driving across the island to Palermo to get a flight out because Catania was shut down.
Yeah, you fucking passed us, bro.
That's crazy,
and
dude.
there's only one autostrada. If you was on the north, there's only one highway.
It was like July 5th or 6th or something like that. It was like right at the end of our trip.
That's
we were just like,
trip,
we needed to get home. And then it's like, we can't get home. And it cost me so much money to fly out of there. Oh my God, dude. Like, yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
But what a trip, man. That's so crazy we were there like at about the same time, man. If you go to Catania, spend the money on a 1-star meal at a place called Sapio.
Okay.
Fire.
Oh, I sure will.
So good. I mean,
sure will.
In the high-end dining world, dude, like a lot of times it's not worth it. You're going to find that. Yeah.
No,
I mean, there's a lot of times
you know
where
better
it's just,
than I would probably.
Yeah,
you know?
it sucks. You want every experience that's that expensive to be great.
Yeah.
I think that's why people are so hesitant. Like you spend $10 on a burger and you don't like it, no big deal, right? No one thinks about that. But when you spend $200 for dinner, you're expecting a lot. You know what I mean? And that's okay. You should, But when you spend that much and it's not good, sometimes that's people's first entrance into fine dining and they're like, I'm fucking out.
Yeah.
Never again. Fine dining isn't for me. And I'm like, no, wait. Like you got to give it a little try. But it's like, if it's $300 every time you try, you're not going to be trying a lot. You know?
That's funny you say that. I have a place I want to ask you, but I'm not going to flame them on my show.
Okay.
But I'm going to ask you after. It's in Sac.
Okay.
It's Italian.
Yeah.
It's, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Multiple course meals. It's like Italian style. You know what I'm saying? Small plates.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah. You like it or no?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a very close friend of mine.
Cool.
Very, very close friend of mine. But I could understand where you're coming from too.
And I just got back from Sicily too.
I get it. So I get it. Yeah.
Oh man.
There's so I will tell you very honestly, because I don't consider that like your classic Italian spot. It's not.
Okay.
I don't understand why Sacramento doesn't have it. There are good places. So before I get absolutely lambasted from Sacramento people saying I don't love my city, which I love my city more than every person that says that shit to me because I'm out there supporting this city all over the world. I talk about Sacramento like I'm never leaving. So like me or hate me, I'm here forever.
No doubt.
But Italian, we need it, dude.
Yeah, we need a good Italian.
You ever been to Che Fico in San Francisco?
No, Mona Lisa though is fucking phenomenal.
Okay. Che Fico is like chill. It's a chill spot. They do great pies. They do all their own charcuterie. Nice. Simple, rustic, but just like that's Italian, right? Like, and it's done right. You need to go.
I will.
I certainly very good. He's an Italian Jewish,
North
so
Beach?
he's Jewish Italian.
Is it North Beach?
No. I can't remember Che Fico. So I'm the worst at that. I've been to all these places, but I can't tell you how to get there. Like people say the west side of town. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? I don't know what west side of town means, like over there. Okay, yeah, cool. I know about over there. Sure. Yeah, check it out though. Okay. But I think a place like that would murder it in Sacramento. I think Sacramento wants it. There are some good places. Don't get me wrong. Like you ever been over to Adamos before?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's like a little bit more Italian American. It's not really like Italian.
It wasn't my favorite.
Like, I get it.
But I cook Italian food, so I'm like super like I'm not the guy to bring with you.
You are the guy.
But I am. If it's good, if it's good, I'll tell you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Dude, don't ever be afraid. That's people got to stop that shit. You know what I mean? Like, I wish that I could talk more about my dining experiences.
Yeah.
Because I don't get to, because I'm a chef and I'm an owner. So it's like seen as this bad thing in the industry. Yeah. But what about me as a diner?
Sure. Yeah, right.
I spend all my money traveling to eat. How many people do that? My opinion should be more valid. But if I don't like a place, I feel like I can't talk about it because I'm like,
you don't want to be looked at that guy.
Exactly. Like, oh, he's a chef. He thinks this. And I'm like, when I'm a diner, I'm not a chef. Yeah. I'm eating.
Do you ever think you'll use your palate, your very refined palate to do like a food and cannabis pairing?
Have multiple times.
Cool.
Will. I'm waiting for.
Let me know.
I'm waiting for this government to get over itself and legalize so that we can But I've done quite a few private events. I will do any private event that people want to do. I'll come cook.
Way,
you know, oh, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
I love infusions of all different kinds.
Cool.
I've smoked fish with flour because it, you know, lemon terped, you know, herb. You can smoke a piece of fish with that and enhance that flavor of the fish.
Yeah, dude.
You can, like with really good cushes, I like to liquid nitrogen freeze them till they can be powderized. All green matter involved because I want the green matter. That's part of the flavor.
Full spec, baby.
Yeah, full spec.
Yeah.
Dust the top of like coffee ice cream.
Oh, sick,
Done,
bro.
dude.
Oh, my God, that's
Distillates can be infused into sauces, into powders. I did a powder once, like, and you know, you play with the terpenes, you know, and you play with the flavonoids. Like, oh yeah, it is something I want to do. I just wish I could do it at a larger scale.
And then we touched on this, pairing the weed with wine.
100%
Is that involved as well?
Yeah, I mean, you saw the Doinks
cool.
episode. It's
That's
like
cool.
That's easy for me because once you're tasting, I abandon all
Taste
ideas.
the weed first, and then you'd know the wine, or would it be reversed?
You would do weed first.
Weed first,
yeah,
for sure.
yeah. I mean, you could probably, you know, have a wine and then be like, you know, oh, this is great. Maybe this would go well with this kind of strain or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think it's easier to have the weed first.
For sure.
Know what you're looking for, and then as long as your data bank in your head can go to those, check through your Rolodex, be like, okay, Pinot from this area, you know, like with some age would be perfect with that.
Yeah.
That's the fun shit.
And you know, the trippy part about that is it was fuck around and grown not far from where these grapes are grown.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? If you're talking California cannabis, you know?
It's everything. It needs to be seen at the level that wine is at, that tobacco is at.
For sure.
That, you know, the things that we enjoy, like, why is it not considered that? Why isn't it as proper as coffee is? Coffee is a drug too. Just because it's socially acceptable, you know, to drink coffee in large amounts, you know, and over caffeinate all the time. Like, I don't know, man. I hate the way that it still feels like as a Michelin starred chef, risky for me to go on a podcast like this and talk about openly about how I love to smoke and I could do this and that.
Sure.
Like, I don't care enough to stop, you know?
Sure.
At the same time, I'm like, why do I have to feel bad about this thing that I absolutely love? Like, it's been in my life forever and has been extremely good to me. And I love the way that I don't have a fucking hangover. When you're drunk as fuck and you forget what you're doing, you black out. Who's ever blacked out on weed?
No.
It doesn't happen.
Happy,
Even
hungry, sleepy.
Dude, and when
That's all
you're
you got.
all the way baked, like you're done, like that's when I'm walking around all stupid looking, I'm still like, fuck, I'm so high. You're still cognitive of how you're feeling.
Yeah, for sure.
Alcohol? Hell no, dude. People, I mean, they're killing people. You know, they're drunk and they smash into people. And I mean, stone drivers, they should actually prescribe some weed for some people driving. Like,
we'd be like this.
dense it down. You're like, I'm going kind of fast. Like, nope, you're
turn
going
that shit
20.
down, bro. I gotta back up, dog. I gotta back up. Turn that shit down. Turn that shit down, bro.
Literally, right? Like, I'm so sick of the stigma.
Yeah.
It bothers me. And I'm like,
Same.
I'm a high-end person. I do high-end food. I do high-end wines, like blah, blah, blah. Like, I want to do high-end weed too. You know, what's wrong with that? Like, it's a craft, you know? And then the doink thing, like, I was just in the, you know, Grand Cayman Islands. They had a guy from Cuba, and he was there, like, hand rolling these beautiful cigars. What's different than that between what, like, Mike and Blaine were going at each other? Like, it's a craft, you know, it's a skill, and you're choosing the right tobacco, you're choosing the right. Why can't we just, like, stop this thought process of this is different than this?
Yeah.
It's exactly the same.
Straight up. And on that note, we're gonna take a quick break. What's up, fam? Just want to take a second to shout out my sponsors over at Buck Mountain Cannabis Delivery. Single source flower, rosin, hash holes, and pre-rolls. All produced in the Sierra foothills of Nevada County. Always fresh depths and light assist direct from the farm. Their product is never more than 6 months old from harvest. Grown with passion and obsession to produce the best sun-grown cannabis possible. And if it's from Buck Mountain, you know it's smoking. Serving Grass Valley and Sacramento. Go check out the menu at buckmountaincannabis.com. Tell them Good PizzZa sent you.
So one of the cool things, I took over Betty. I kept all the people. I told them what I was going to do. I told them what the new gig was going to be, but I also told them I'm a loyal person, and if you show me respect, like let's do this together.
Yeah.
Stay, pay them more money. They're all super happy. No one's leaving, and now I'm bringing them all to Localis in a couple of weeks to do the full thing. You know, so they get to experience
cool, man.
what we do, you know? So that was like one of the things, you know, people locking in like, yes, I'll be there. Give me the NA pairing, give me the, you know, the alcohol pairing, whatever else. Like it's super fun to be able to share that with people that haven't really had like fine dining experiences in too many places or at all, you know? So you know that you can curate a good experience for them and they're going to walk out there going like, let's try another crazy restaurant, you know?
Oh yeah. You know, the only other place I remember in Sac that was doing something like that was the Kitchen. Mm-hmm. Did you ever eat there while they were open?
Yeah, I've eaten there 5 times. Yeah, they're still open.
Okay. Oh, they are still
30 plus years.
Oh, no shit. Dude.
Yeah, they've been open forever.
Gotcha.
They're old school.
I made a reservation. Me and the wife were gonna go, and then like COVID hit. And
Oh my gosh, yeah, right?
6-month wait. I was like, fuck, man.
Yeah.
But no doubt, that's cool. That's cool, man.
How'd you figure out about that place? Because did you know about Localis before?
Yeah, all my weed homies go to your spot, bro. I'm always like, yo, bro, what the fuck? What do you got? Where you guys at? Why have I not gotten this invite yet? So you guys gotta let me know something, man. You know? Fucking yeah, dude. So like from Drew, Alien Labs, Ted, fucking the gang. Dave Preferred, my boy White Ash goes to your spot.
Dave Preferred?
Dave Preferred.
Oh, he has been there. I was about to say.
I feel like he's been there.
I give him so much shit though, because I met his amazing wife, and I know that she
cool
wants to come to Localis, but he's too busy. He
really is.
I know he's a crazy guy, but I'm like, yo, like you gonna get in here or what? Because I think he's been there for a special event, which are dope, right? Don't get me wrong, but it's not the same experience as when you come to Localis on a regular night where everything is happening the way it should happen.
For sure.
Anytime you do an event of any kind, things aren't the same. Not that they're bad, not that they're better, just they're not the same, you know, like. No doubt. So yeah, Dave, better be getting in there soon. I'm telling you what.
When would you recommend I come?
Just tell me.
Okay.
I got a friends and family table.
Oh, cool, man.
It's when I rebuilt the restaurant. Because by the way, I rebuilt the restaurant, like, because that's what I did, you know, for years.
Sure.
And I thought, man, if we really pop off and everything is even better than it has been, because it was good anyways. Mm-hmm. If I have to say no to someone last minute being like, hey, can I get in? You know, like my brother or you, somebody, you know, a chef from out of town, and I have to say no, that made me feel like I'd be working for the restaurant. Wow. But I built a table that's just for me. You can't reserve it, you know, like it's it's for me.
Oh, that's
and that way you can always
dope.
say yes. And when you can say yes, then that restaurant still works for you, you know? Like,
that is fucking cool, man.
So thanks to reading psychology books, I had that sort of like thought process, you know, like I think the more that you figure out about why you think the way you think and all these things, you can slow yourself down in certain areas. You can better yourself in communication, you know, like I can talk to people now, whereas before I'm like, don't fucking talk to me. Like, unless you got something to say, like, I don't want to hear it. Nowadays, I'm like, give the whole world an opportunity. Like maybe there's some cool shit that's going to happen you would have passed by, which is crispy, crunchy chicken during COVID, right? Like we're talking about gas station chicken, y'all, in case you don't know. We were there getting gas, and Mr. Snooty fucking chef, I was like, I'd never eat fucking chicken from a gas station. You know, that's bullshit. And then I'm like, what if it's hella good and I've been passing it because of my ego? Yeah. And I thought that hard, and I was like, I'm going to go get some. My wife is like, no, you're not, you liar. And I'm like, I'm going to get some. And we got some, and it was banger, dude. It was so good. And I was like, damn, like you know, like I'm in on this, and get over the ego, kill that shit, drop it out the door, you know?
Yeah, I remember like taking trips on 95, like that's on the East Coast. 95 goes from Maine to Florida. And
80.
Like,
it's 80 on the East Coast.
And it's 80 on the East Coast. I still live off 80, and I still do.
It's
crazy.
like boop, 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 you know?
Yeah, for sure. 80's East to West, 95 and Route 5.
Boom, there you go.
You know
Yeah.
So, yeah, I remember being in a gas station. It was like North Carolina or Virginia or something, and motherfuckers are lining up for this chicken. I was like, well, fuck, let me get some gas station chicken, man. And fucking A, man, it was fucking good fucking chicken. Man.
Yeah, there you go, dude. I was like, this is really tasty. Pizza.
So what advice would you give somebody about to open a restaurant that's, you know, into weed, into cannabis, wants to open a restaurant, wants to do something cool like you did, maybe not at that scale, but like, what advice would you give them?
Well, at the scale now is great, because now I have Betty to prove concept that I'm not just a fine dining chef. Betty is not fine dining. Tight. Betty is very good food, very casual, super approachable price points.
Tight.
We do the pairing for you, so you take the fear out of pairing food and wine away.
Okay.
The whole focus is like, you get the nonna's pasta. You better come have the nonna's pasta.
Of course, bro.
It's my take on alla amatriciana.
Okay.
With bucatini.
Okay.
House extruded every day.
Ooh,
it's
let's
legit.
go.
Yeah. You'll love it. The pasta there is fire. Like all the pastas we make there are fire.
Beautiful.
Simple though, and chill.
As it
what
should
I
be.
would say to anyone opening a restaurant, especially if you're into the cannabis world, before you even think about it, what's the purpose? What's the food you're going to make? Mm-hmm. I know people that open restaurants, and the aesthetics and everything about the restaurant is first, and then at the end, they're still trying to figure out the menu. Have that vision before you even step foot into the realm of wanting to start a restaurant. Like, what's the food you're serving? What are the dishes that you're serving? What does it look like in there? What does it smell like in there? What's it taste like in there? What's the vibe? What's the sound? Like, if you can start putting that together before you open, you'll have a much better chance at making it. But I think the purpose needs to come first. And so often it's about like trying to get people in with nice aesthetics and nice this, and all that shit is super valid. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not knocking it, but I'm also saying that when you make that the focus is when you get all these blonde restaurants that don't have a vibe. They're not special. You know what I mean? You go there and maybe the food's good, maybe it's okay, maybe it's whatever, but it's really beautiful. You know, like those restaurants don't end up making it long term. And have a real vision for what you want to do with food. It's a fucking restaurant. You know, you're serving food. You're not serving the atmosphere and all that shit until the food is solid. Then people are like, oh, I'm in on this now, right? So I think really think about what you want to do. Is your heart in it? All right, because if you're thinking like, oh, I'm going to open a restaurant, you know, like sandwiches are dope, I'm going to make sandwiches. How into sandwiches are you? I mean, are you making sandwiches all the time that are different flavors and different this and breads and blah, blah, blah? Like, because if you're not, don't fucking open that restaurant. I promise you it's not going to work. Have that vision first and then do everything else.
I like that answer. Speaking of sandwiches, the next time you're in Brooklyn, I need you to go somewhere for me. It's called Anthony and Sons Panini Shop. It is the headiest of the heady whatever sandwiches, fill in the blank, but like the craziest shit. And it's a fucking vibe, bro. It's on a corner. You know, the whole fucking building's graffiti. It's got nice benches out there. It's the most welcoming family. You're going to be, you know, you meet the pops. He's going to give you voy un café. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get a nice espresso as soon as you get there. I'll make sure Sabino takes care of you. Like, it's a whole fucking thing. There's a huge podcast called the Growing Up Italian podcast. They do a lot of clips and reels. That's the sun. Like, it's done upstairs. Like, we always do our podcast there when we go. You know
of course,
like,
yeah.
It's so dope, bro. But
well, make sure that you message me all of this because remember, I warned you at the beginning. I'm not so good at remembering things, dude.
We'll shoot you the podcast.
And when you message me and you don't hear nothing back, that's when you're like, hey,
bud,
that message from earlier, I still need you to, and I'll be like, oh yeah, that's right. You know, like,
yeah, no,
but yeah, I can't wait to go experience that. That's going to be so fun.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so now we're going to do a little game called Fuck One, Marry One, Kill One. Got it. Okay, but we're going to talk weed strains. Got it. So Fuck One is, you know, the unicorn, the goddamn, this is the best weed I've ever smoked, best experience. What strain was that? The married one's your everyday smoke. What strain could you smoke every day? And the kill one is like, I'd never smoke that again. Let's get that shit out of here. Fire away. Ooh. Well, the Fuck One, the one that is like the euphoric experience, that's Maui Wowie. Nice. Original. Nice. No blends, like the original OG Maui. Smoke it in the morning and feel like you just like drank some sunshine and get up and I'm just vibing, dude. Like, I'll never forget it. I moved a couple of pounds once and I saved a whole pound, which at that time was like tough, you know, because I was like, I got to sell this, you know, but at the same time, like whatever. And I kept a whole pea and I just like, I jarred it up. I kept it really nice. And I just like every once in a while, and I'm not good at patience. So for me, it's like, I wanted to smoke it all, but I'm like, save it. Like, oh my gosh, it's so good. My everyday LA Confidential. That's, every day. Nice. I love that strain. Always have, always will. I like the way it makes me feel. I like the high I get from it. I love the flavor. That's a very coffee-like flavor to me. Okay. And then the kill, oh man, see, I feel like I'm gonna get hate. You know what I mean? No. The ones I love, you're everyone's good. Like, oh hell yeah. So I just killed gelato last week, something. Bro. You're good. You're good. So like the Skittles. Oh shit, he killed Skittles. Okay, now that's okay. You're wildin'. I like it. I like that out. I like it. Edit that shit out. No, I'm kidding. There's no weed that I hate. I can't say, I mean, outside of like we're not getting rid of Blue Dream or Forbidden Fruit or Purple Punch. Have you ever had like really good Blue Dream? When it first came out, fuck yeah, I loved it. Okay, well then it's not in that category. No doubt. Right? You didn't ask me that. For sure. Do I like Skittles? Of course I do. Yeah. Like, but don't kill her. There is always there's like a chemical, there's like a pool chemical taste to it. And it's now beyond one strain. It's like multiple people that grow this strain. Like I get this vibe from it. It's like tasting red Twizzlers and Sangiovese.
a lot of Sanjos have wine. You know, a lot of those Sanjos have that. And as soon as I taste that flavor profile in the wine, I'm out. I'm like, nope, I don't want it. Like, I don't hate it. I just don't like it. And that red Twizzler flavor that's like hella artificial. Like, there's a compound in wine that tastes like that in certain grape varieties. And I just like, ugh. And Skittles sometimes, not every time either. So like I said, it's not like it's my, you know, I don't ever like it. I love it. Like, I think this is that today, right?
Those Skittles, yeah.
Yeah, this is.
Try that. This is Skittles as well, grown by John Doe, and this is known as Kamikaze. My buddy gifted me a couple nugs. This is a fucking great batch. Try that. Let me know what you think.
I need to learn with these.
Yeah, that enhances the experience.
Yeah, it really
time,
does,
bro.
man. I love
Big
it.
time.
You know, like I love it.
Yeah, I'm crazy with these, bro. That's all I smoke out of. Did that give you any different terps, different flavor?
I'm trying to really be thoughtful about it because
Or just Z, like that one. With these, you can get a better amount of smoke, too, to taste, too. You know what I'm saying? Versus like a regular joint, I feel like. And the glass tip also cools the smoke down a little bit with like the vortex. It's more like distance between the flower burning to your mouth. You know what I'm saying? So that's also why.
I think they're very similar. They're very similar.
100%.
I think this one demonstrates more into the green-blue category of flavor profiles for me. This one's in the green-yellow category.
Okay.
Just on the top ends, you know, like I said, at the heart, it's mostly this, but on the outsides, this one's a little bit more high-toned. It's a little bit more like bright, a little bit more on the citrus side. Not that it is citrusy at all, but just
No,
in
it
that
does have
vein.
a citrus S because it's a grapefruit cross.
Yeah. So I think this one is flavor-wise. Like, let me hit that again real quick.
Yeah, dude. Get in there, kid. Get in there. That's a fucking that's some proper Z.
So that flavor profile that I'm talking about is in both. It's less in this and more in this. Flavor-wise, I might like this like ever so slightly edged out. I'm not sure. Like, I like the differences in them, but I can definitely it's a very consistent thing throughout. So,
but check this out. If we had rolled that with a glass tip, same amount of weed,
can we do that?
yeah.
I mean,
fucking jar.
you have to do that. So like,
So like you will see like, oh well, this
Educate me,
might
dude,
have changed the experience a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You might have liked that a little more or more similar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
I guess I
let's
need to
do
get
that.
better at that because, you know, when it comes down to it, that's why I love the Sherlock. So, fun story, dude. My wife, Jessica, shout out to wifey. I mean, what I put her through, and I don't want to get dark again, but like,
No, you told me some
dude,
shit, bro.
she's
That's
there,
not easy
bro.
to
She's
deal with
there,
as a
like,
fucking partner, bro.
she is, and plus worse, you know, like for
course.
her, you know
You're
what
not
I
gonna
mean?
tell us
Like the
everything on the
worst.
show.
Yeah, but worst. To still be together and still be pushing and
Bless
still
her.
and still
Bless you
fighting,
guys, man.
still fighting, right? Like
Fuck
20
yeah.
years in, we're just like, God damn, why is it so hard? And then other times we're like,
That's
this is
why.
the
It's
best thing
20
ever,
years,
you
yeah.
know, like, and shit, I don't even know where I was going with this.
You're hard to deal with?
Yeah, that much we know for sure.
Fuck.
Yeah. Man, I don't know. That's what happens when you smoke, dude. Like,
What are you gonna do?
when I was down there at Pine Park, I was on that podcast.
Oh, you went on Pine Park?
Yeah.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
Nice.
Shout out, you know,
Hell yeah. Shout
Eric
out to homies.
and oh my God. See, this is what
I
happens.
only met Eric, so I don't know. I know the other homie, you know what I'm saying? He's tall. Tall white dude. You know what I'm saying?
Freaking Drew sends me down with some D1.
Nice. D1's fire.
And I just got wrecked, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I was forgetting everything, and I was expecting them to almost like meme me, you know, with just like D1. You know, every time I would forget what I was talking about, man, it was terrible in the best way.
Yeah, in the best way, for sure. For sure.
That's dope. God, I wish I was trying to remember something about my wife.
She deals with a lot. She's
Yeah.
dealt with a lot with you.
She's the baddest bitch for sure. But I can't remember. I was going somewhere with it with our bubbler. Got it.
There you go.
Don't you love when you save it, dude? It
Yeah,
comes
dude.
back. You're like,
Because that would have fucked with you
yes.
the rest of the interview.
It would
I
have.
know.
And I would have been like 3 hours later, like, yo, pizza. What's up with this, man? It was about this. We got a Sherlock on Haight Ashbury our first year of dating.
What's a Sherlock?
A Sherlock bubbler. It's a bubbler.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
shaped
yeah,
like
yeah,
Sherlock.
fucking Sherlock,
See?
yeah.
Come on, man. You're 41 years old.
My bad,
You should
bro.
know this, man.
I was thinking weed strains, bro.
No.
Like, I never smoked Sherlock. Smoked out of a Sherlock.
That's the problem with the game right now, though.
Yeah.
What does a name mean?
Yeah,
Nothing. Like,
yeah.
I want it to mean something again. You know what I mean? Like, tell me what's in it, nonetheless. Anyways, we get this bubbler. Bro, I hit that this morning. It's still there. And we are both everyday smokers. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you and wifey?
yeah.
Nice.
And, she's quit for 6 months each time, a kid, whatever. Like, she'll just quit now. We had a problem. Oh my gosh. I mean, I don't know. Hope this isn't too much for her. I should ask her before I say this, but whatever. She would smoke to help with, whatever else, understanding what it is. Like, it's not like a bad thing, right?
Sure.
Having a glass of wine is also not a bad thing. Drinking a case of wine, that's a bad thing.
Sure.
So I think she tested positive once, and then CPS was like all up in our asses.
Oh, bro.
Yeah, before.
Terrible.
And my wife, this person is in our house, and she lost it, and my wife doesn't lose it. She doesn't lose it. She's the coolest cucumber you've ever felt. She looks at this person, and she's like, do you fucking see, like, we're established good people with children that are doing extremely well. We have good careers. We have no records. We have nothing.
Yeah,
like,
get the fuck
out. And they were like, yeah.
You know what? You guys
Oh
have
my
a nice
gosh.
day.
I was just like, you are so bad. Like,
Fuck yeah.
That's when you just want to drag her to the bedroom right then and there. You're
come
like,
here,
dang, girl.
Come here, you. Fucking love you, man. You know what I'm
Right?
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's the stigma. That's all it is.
It is a
It's not
stigma,
about
yeah.
laws. It's about stigma, dude. Like,
Bro.
you think that that's bad? I'm like, get
course,
out of
man.
here, man. Like, come on.
Yo,
Like,
my dad wanted to murder me for weed when I was younger, bro. Like, crazy. Now he lives out here with us. He's probably moved more weed than anybody's ever seen where I'm from back home. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's the transporter. You know what I'm saying? He's our driver. Like, he moves shit everywhere, bro, legally, with a license and a manifest. But, like, you feel me? Like, it's a stigma, bro. And sometimes stigmas fade. Hopefully.
Yeah, they need to. It needs to go away. I think the
They
proof
do.
is there too.
They do.
It's a funny. I have this in my notes for you, so I'm actually on track with something.
Hit me, bro.
You know what? Let me figure out what it was that you sent me so that I could actually answer one of the questions that you sent over. Which, by the way, first time I've ever taken notes.
Cool, man.
I just do everything off the cuff.
So
but
I
I'm
probably
like,
should have told you those were just for your knowledge because these questions are.
I know,
come
but
in
I
just
loved
to
it
be
because it
prepped.
gives
Oh, good.
direction.
Cool.
It's
cool,
great.
cool.
No, I loved it, and it's the first time I was really in. It was late.
cool.
I was baked. I was sitting at my
Nice,
counter
dude.
working. And
I'm glad you appreciated my notes.
Jerome, are you a little happy with me? A little proud of me for notes?
How's he doing, kid?
Yeah, dude.
Right?
Yeah, he's so much better at
Is this
than I am.
PR? Is you
Oh, yeah, for sure.
okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, not as a singular term though. The
No doubt.
dude's everything, right?
No
like
doubt.
he's
You guys
him-
are friends first and
Oh,
foremost. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
How long y'all known each other?
10 plus,
Nice, solid.
right?
Solid.
Little less. We're coming up on 10.
Let's just
In
exactly.
case you wonder who
Let's
we're
just say,
talking
yeah,
to.
coming up on 10. We're almost ready to celebrate the 10th
Yeah.
anniversary.
In case you wonder who we're talking about the homie Jerome who's hanging out back there. That came with Chris.
Jerome. Yeah, he's amazing. Okay.
Fuck, we went off
People
again.
I would smoke with. No, we got it. We
Yeah,
got it.
all right,
I know
cool,
exactly
cool.
what I'm looking for. Best worst advice, overcoming. Shit, what was your question?
Oh, I'm about to hit you another question if you need a question.
No, you just asked me one.
Oh fuck, I did.
Roll it back.
I think
Roll back the
I think it was
tape.
about Jerome, bro.
Yeah.
How long you knew him?
10 years. No, there was something to this. I there had an answer.
You were thinking about one of the questions I had sent you in the
Oh, that's right,
in the
that's
email.
right.
You wanted to answer it now.
Yep.
While you're looking, I can get
Yeah.
I got a question.
Yeah,
for
hit
you.
it.
Hit me with your weed etiquette, cooking weed etiquette, pet peeve. What grinds your gears? Whatever that means to you.
For when the collaboration is happening.
Whatever. It could be cooking. It could be in the weed world. Usually that's like a weed question, but like you're a chef, so I'd
So
let you go in whatever world you.
I'm
like.
always a little nervous because this wasn't on the prep sheet either. Like you're asking this one off the dome, and you know that my honesty means that I cannot change my answer to appease anybody or anything.
Okay.
So
Cool.
my biggest pet peeve, that beer dinners are, weed dinners are the new beer dinners. And, I love beer. Like I've been to Belgium just to taste beautiful beers you can only get
Okay.
there. But for most of the time, a beer dinner is just hella beer, hella food, people getting wasted and having a good time. That's fucking great, right? Like that's
Yeah.
a wonderful time.
Yeah.
But a pairing, when you call it a pairing, I'm
Yeah.
like, take that shit seriously.
No doubt.
Like,
I appreciate that, bro.
Taste that wine, taste that beer, taste that weed. get intimate with it, have a connection with a dish, put that dish out, put the two together, taste it first, the pairing first. At my restaurant, there's never been a menu that we've released that we haven't tasted the entire menu before we serve it to a guest.
Hell yeah.
Right? Like, we don't do that because now we know where we're at.
I could tell.
Yeah, that's for real.
Yeah. So
I feel it'll be the same way with food, with weed and food pairings. Like, there's a lot of just like gimmicky, like you're getting high and you're eating food, and that's cool. But like, I want to take this shit seriously, and I know that's not for everyone. It's not the in and out, right? It's not the double. But it's an experience. It'll change the way you view things. I think that's a bigger impact than dollars spent.
Sure. I like it. Well, I've been dying to ask you this question. What is your favorite stoner food?
Can I clarify or get clarification, because I think in my life I've changed. Like, I think stoner food when I was younger and stoner food now are different. If you want just the two.
Well, yeah, let me get your younger and current.
So, because it's a big difference, right? My
sure.
whole palate changed when I became a chef. You know, now my expectations are way different.
Of course.
Stoner food for sure. As a kid, you know, as a young man. I mean, the sweet and salty is my jam for that. Like, so, you know, peanut butter, chocolate pretzels, and, you know, like those kind of snacky shit, you know?
Yeah.
And of course, ice cream being my #1 favorite food of all time.
Okay.
I would choose that over everything else on planet Earth, ice cream.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my old school. I would crave that.
We're going to take it a step further, sir. You're cruising through the kitchen late night. You're high as a kite. You're a scumbag and you know it. You see it on the counter. It's going down, the whole thing. Your guilty pleasure.
There's too many.
Oh, I know.
Sour Patch Kids, done. The whole bag is done.
Done. See you later.
Any sort of chip, done. I will crush the whole bag. Texture, I mean, good crunchy things with texture, dude. I'm not a very picky eater, right? Like,
yeah, no doubt.
There's not one food I'm like, what's in front of me? I'm that much of a scumbag. I'm like, can I make this good? If I throw this stale piece of bread in a toaster, will it be crunchy and I could put some butter on it or something?
Okay, cool, man. Cool.
Remember, I lived with my band for a couple of years.
Yes, you had to dug it for a while. Bro.
Oh yeah, I was sleeping on a mat behind the couch in the living room.
Behind the couch?
Yeah,
not on the couch.
Yeah, I was like the couch guy from fucking.
We all start somewhere. Yeah, you are the guy on the couch, the guy behind the couch.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn.
You have another one of these with this in it, right?
What's
this
that?
Weed, this strain. You have another one?
I don't.
Oh no!
So we can't do a side by side. We're just gonna straight up roll up this with a tip.
I'm gonna let this slow burn if possible.
You can, but it ain't gonna be the same because we're in fucking Q4 over here, buddy.
All right.
But the fact that you're still smoking that is a good sign.
It's very tasty.
Yeah, it's still tasty. Still, you know what I mean? That would
I
pass.
I found out about good weed a long time ago, man. Rolling joints, and I'm like, this weed still tastes good. You know?
I saw that part of the show you guys did with Adam, like how you broke down like. How like the guys would come over to the restaurant and whip out your joint and then they'd pull out the fire and you'd be like, oh shit. My bad.
Yeah.
Excuse the fuck out of me.
I was mad at them. I was like, why didn't you say something, assholes? Like you just walked me to that bear trap. I'm like, it wasn't in their heart, but it was in mine as a paranoid dude, you know, because I met them way before my big change as a man.
Before this discovery.
Before the big one, you know, like before that, because my life is different now because of that experience, you know.
Since 2020.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you.
So things are different. So they knew me before, they knew me after. You know, some people saw one version of me, other people saw another version of me.
What's your favorite Italian food to cook, man?
My favorite Italian food to cook.
Or you can give me a couple dishes.
I mean, I'm gonna have to say pasta as a term. I don't know if I could say like a specific pasta dish.
Sure. Oh, come on,
but I think
man.
like
give me something.
I don't know, dude.
Give me something.
I'm just not a creature of habit. Are you?
So, I can be. I got my staples.
Man, I'm like, give me everything all the time. I know sometimes it's gonna suck.
Yeah,
but that's okay.
But my staples are like 10.
Yeah,
like 10 different joints. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm trying to be really honest too and think about it because sometimes you forget, you know, these dishes that you love. But I would probably say at the end of the day, like final meal, if it had to be a pasta dish, it's probably going to be something like a really well done carbonara or cacio e pepe.
Okay. Simple.
Yeah, real simple. I mean, real simple. No fluff. And I'll put white truffle on mine because I'm a bougie ass bitch. Bro. Dude, I'm so bougie nowadays. Because I own a restaurant, I'm like, I can eat truffle. Like,
you got truffle on deck at the restaurant, I'd imagine?
Yeah, it's the end of the season, but it's there. You got to come in this week. This is like dire. You need to get in.
Fuck. The pressure's on, folks.
Yeah, the pressure is on. Then I got to go down to San Diego and cook with a couple of other Michelin-starred chefs on a collaboration dinner, which I think is
nice. Dude.
Part of the coolest part about having a star is the connection you get to make and the times you get to go cook with cool people. And very excited about that.
I dig it. Over the years, what is your definition of success? And over the years, has that definition changed?
100% changed.
Okay. Maybe hit me with the old and the new.
Yeah, I think the old one was not to be average. I was terrified, to be honest with you, of just being another person walking around the world and not really doing anything or, changing anything, which is pretty vain, I think, when it comes down to it. But that's the truth. I mean, that was a real worry of mine growing up, was like, man, am I just going to be this person that doesn't do anything special or whatever else? And in reality, that's a lot of us, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of us aren't going to reach like crazy goals or like do something nuts or whatever else because that's not their drive. For me, it was. Nowadays, success to me means, I think it resorts back to my word, honesty. The more people I work with that I have faith that they're good people and that they will always have my best interest in their hearts, that they'll see me for who I am, that to me is like true success. Yeah. And when that's reached in a business where you can actually like, you can run a business, like it's real, right? Like you got to make a product and sell it at a very high cost, high value, risky. You got to do that with a team of people that is just so dedicated to everything and dedicated to themselves, and their betterment of themselves. That to me feels like success as I gain it, over the years. And as the time goes on, just feeling better and better about dumping into people, like just constantly dumping into people instead of just thinking about like what's good for me. That's success.
Yeah, I like that. Solid, bro.
Word.
Solid. Hell yeah. If you could pick one person to be your personal mentor, who would that be?
That's the craziest question that wasn't, again, not on
I don't even give you all
list.
of them, kid.
Well, the mentor thing is tough because I always get asked who my chef mentor is. I do not have one.
Really?
No.
No shit.
I didn't come up. Yes, of course.
Okay. I feel like,
this put me on track for something I can wrap up quickly that I think is really important.
Okay, hit me.
Because, man, the difference between what I did and how the traditional way is. The way I did it was crazy and dope. Come out of nowhere. Obviously a love, a talent,
Yeah.
Like sometimes you're God-given talent, right? Like I'm a drummer. I've watched drummers where I'm like, even if I practiced every day for the rest of my life, I would never be that good.
Yeah.
That's when you're just like, all hail, like that's the guy, right?
Yep.
So I think a lot of chefs meet those chefs as they're cooking in other kitchens. I went from 0 to 60 in like 6 months. So I never worked for anybody that was great, and taught me, like I did work with chefs that taught me a lot. Don't get me wrong, but not like change my lifestyle, right? Like my brain was always like, I can do this better than you. I can do this, whatever else. And it's not arrogance. It's just like, I'm good with what I have because I don't have to like, it is part of who I am as a person. Shit, I just D1. What the hell was I talking about? Shit, dude. Done.
Oh, yeah. Mentors.
Yeah, not having one.
You not having one.
Really cool. But learning from people, learning their systems, learning how they work, gathering all of this knowledge. Like, I'm not saying my restaurant would be better if I went the more traditional route, which is having mentors. I'm looking for those mentors, and I have them in my life. My mentor, I couldn't select one. Because if you just have one mentor, you only have one perspective, and that's not healthy.
Yeah.
My life focuses around my mentors now. I mean that in a very serious way. Like Jerome is a mentor, 100%. And a mentor to me is someone who you can fight in honestly, and you know that my word honest is like really extreme, like all the way honest.
Yeah.
And vice versa, and you work through things together. And if you have more and more mentors in your life that can help you, see the world in a better place, or like help you get to places that is good for everyone. You help, times of need, all the things. If it's back and forth, that's like a beautiful thing. And if you have a large group of those, your, success, holy shit, that's like over the top. That's Elon Musk level, life to me, it's like having a group of people. And I'm damn near close to that every day, I
love that, bro. And that's the beauty of the era that we're in. Like, you don't have to have one mentor. You can have a tribe of mentors. You can go on YouTube and pick people that you like to learn from and fucking choose a mentor. When I speak about mentors on this show, I don't mean like the guy I call on fucking that I pay $100 a session for. Like, nah, bro, I have all sorts of mentors just like you. And can I recommend a book to you?
Okay.
It's called Tribe of Mentors. It's by Tim Ferriss.
Okay.
He interviewed about 100 of some of the biggest minds in the world. Some chose to be anonymous. Some he'll tell you who they were. And he asked a series of questions, same ones to everyone. Some are, it starts out a little light and then it gets a little deeper. And like some of these questions are so fucking brilliant. And to hear the answers you get from the top minds of success or whatever that may mean to you or across the world, it was fucking phenomenal, bro.
Yeah.
And watch this. When you right before you read the book or get the audio or whatever, he'll tell you like, look, 60% of this might not mean that much to you. You'll learn from, but like 20% you're really gonna learn from, and 20% of this might change your life. But watch this every 5 years, because you will have evolved, and some of these messages will be for you later. These jewels ain't for you right now on your journey, and I've already done that. And I've heard things on that book like, what advice would you give you right before you started college?
Yeah.
And if I would have got this advice, I would have been so far well off. So my little cousin's about to go to college. I fucking jammed this book down his throat, and he hit me like, "Yo, thanks, big cuz. I know what to do now." You know what I mean? Like, or what would you do right after? Like some shit like that. Like, so yeah, check it out. Tribe Mentors, free plug for Tim Ferriss.
And so talking about vernaculars, how we talk about weed, how we talk about wine, coffee, different ways of using words. For me, everyone that you just explained is a teacher.
Yeah.
Because a mentor is someone who you give into and they give back.
Oh no, you're right. Yeah, those are teachers.
It's just a difference.
For sure.
It's a difference.
Yeah.
But like the book is about mentors and it's about that, so I totally get that. And those people teach you a lot of good things, but the internet is only that because the connection is back and forth. That's why I'm so anti like the world moving into like no one's talking, no one's like interacting on a real level. Like there's no vibe there, So I really think it's a difference of ways of viewing it. But mentors to me are like, I just said at Betty, I'll make this quick because obviously I don't do things quick very well.
Long story longer.
Long story long. Long story hella long. It's
Yeah.
okay, bro. You got to live in it. You got to live in it. You know what I mean?
I'm that guy, bro.
We're sitting in Betty. I had just exchanged a grease trap. If you don't know what that is in a restaurant, you got to dig up your whole kitchen floor, rip everything out, dig it all out, redo it, put it back in, repipe it. Mine was the worst that those people had seen in forever. I had to help the whole process. Not had to, like they couldn't do the job, but I mean, I'm a control freak. I'm sure you picked up on that.
Yeah, for sure.
So I needed to see it happen. And anyways, we're at the end. It's the day before Christmas Eve. And I didn't get a Christmas break again. The whole restaurant shuts down for a week during Christmas time, which is unheard of. Most restaurants, that's where you make all your money.
Yeah.
But I'm like, everyone gets a week paid vacation then. They get 2 weeks paid vacation in the summer, and then you get to choose week paid vacation. Like that's what people have at restaurant, right?
That's incredible.
It's great. And I get done and I go to Betty and I sit down at a table and I was meeting Jerome and I was meeting another old school friend named Matt Chong, shout out, one of the coolest dudes on planet Earth. And then Kevin Luther, this winemaker friend of mine, Lucid Winery, shout it out. We all just ended up having the same thing at the same time. And we sit down at this table and we just have this like epic conversation, and it was wonderful and amazing. And those are the times where you're like, oh my gosh, dude, I got a tribe of mentors.
Yeah.
Like they're all around me, and like these people, they all see exactly who I am.
It's dope.
Yeah, it's dope, man.
Real
it's
steel
so dope.
sharpens steel relationships.
100%.
Like when you see them, you want to show up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Steel to steel is great too, because I call honesty a sword. And when you walk around with a big ass sword, you better realize what that means. That's why you can't take honesty for granted, right? Like you got to be pretty serious about it. You're asking for everyone to be honest all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's going to hurt sometimes really bad. It's going to cut you,
Yeah.
but I'm in on that.
Yeah, man.
And all right, now we got the new Skittles.
Now we got the Green Dawg Z.
Yeah. It's like, I know Drew likes bigger, red, bold wines.
Okay.
They're not my style of wine, so we don't have a lot of like commonality. Not that he doesn't like all other wines too, but those are like his jam, So I'm wondering if there's all those times where I'm like, dude, let's drink Burgundy together, but I know you won't dig it. I'll open up something nuts expensive just because I want to taste it. I'm like, let's go. But if he doesn't love it, you're like, that's just not worth it. You know what I mean?
For sure.
But I wonder if that's
that
me and Z,
Yeah.
If that's just my vibe where I'm like,
Could be.
I
It could be. Some people don't fuck with it, bro. Some people don't fuck with it.
Nope, 100% I can tell you this is totally different.
Totally different, 100%.
Jerome, please get this. Well, it's on camera. The correlation, the conversation we had earlier of coffee and weed, because how you grind your coffee bean can make it acidic, can make it can change. So shout out to one of my mentors, no longer a mentor, but nonetheless, sometimes they're there for a time, sometimes they're there forever, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Either or, still incredibly valuable. One coffee bean, literally, like one variety, that's it. Like the whole bag is one coffee. He ground it differently. He did different temperatures. He did different measurements of pressure, you know, all these things. I've never tasted something so different in my life. And that's when my mind was blown about coffee, because I'm like, there's so many things that happen to get it to the spot.
Right.
All of those can go wrong or right, or parts and this and that. And the more you can dissect it with a palate, like the better it is. That's this for me too. I think about it the same way.
Yeah.
Now, because of how slowly this is burning, I'm getting way more flavor profiles that I think are on the bottom end. It's like deep flavors. You got to cook them for a long time. This now has more deep flavors and less like flash in the pan flavors, like we were talking earlier.
Sure. You know what's crazy for me?
Yeah.
I almost like the flavor of the one you rolled that you did out of the flour mill, no tip, just like old school joint, better than this.
See, I disagree.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You see what I'm saying? Like,
I love
crazy.
that.
But this is also a joint 3, so my palate's stained, so I don't really do QC like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
We're just hanging out smoking at this point.
Totally.
You know?
I think the same thing. There's a time where it's like a thing and a time where you're just chilling.
Yeah.
Let me tell you how infinitely excited I am that you gave me this.
Hell yeah.
I love the fact that it's like a coffee grinder, that these people, I'm grouping them together. Jerome, Sam, all the coffee people. It's so expensive, bro. They're like, we need another grinder. Like this one has to be ground like this, and this one has to be ground like that. You can't exchange the beans out. So coffee is an expensive game, dude. Like you got to get into it, but when you do, the value is there, you know?
Sure.
So Sam, shout out. I'll get you a new grinder, I promise. Like,
Nice. Like a coffee grinder or one of these?
Coffee grinder.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I can
but
send
I mean,
you
this
another
though,
one.
I'm so excited about this because I've never dealt with anything other than just the traditional grinder.
Sure.
So now that I can
we'll get you the fine screen.
Yeah.
I want you, because you smoke joints, right? That's great for blunts like this. Perfect. But you might find that it's not fine enough. That's my
And then
experience.
I just buy the...
Yeah, just buy. Look on the side of the fucking the package here. It shows you the different ones. Maybe it's on the bottom. Yeah, right here. You just want the extra fine.
Cool.
Yes,
and then
sir.
I have these theories too. Like when I smoked Mike's Doink, I remember judging it. One thing I never forget, like stuff like that, food, wine, you know, pot, different stuff like that. Like it's locked in my brain forever, the flavors.
Yeah.
Mike's roll might have won, especially because I like those flavor profiles more than I like the lemon, which I guess I should put lemon last then, right? Because I think I would choose this over lemon still, no matter what. So maybe lemon is my one thing that I'm like, I'll kill it. I'll kill lemon.
Same, bro.
No, I'm sorry. I love you.
That's what it is,
Blaine,
dude.
I love you, dude.
Well, you're not killing Blaine. You're just killing lemon
I kind of want
terps.
to, you know, just like a chop. No, I'm just kidding. They were so cool, man. Like, that was my first entrance into that world, and I'm glad it was those two people.
That's my dogs,
because
man.
I was like, these people are awesome. You know, they're
professionals
really fun.
in the space that they operate, bro. Yeah.
And funny. They're funny as
their
fuck,
personalities are insane separately and more together. Like those two are fucking nuts. They do great content together.
Dude. This wins for me.
This one is the
Yeah.
winner. Winning chicken dinner.
Wow. Not just saying that either. I think you know me well enough through this podcast.
No,
I
you're a
wouldn't
straight
say it
shooter,
he's
kid.
my boy. Like
I'm from the land of straight shooters. I'm getting that vibe from you.
Dude, New York,
You know
people are
saying?
like, they're so rude. And I thought that. And then I went to New York and I'm like, no, they just don't want to deal with your shit. Like, everyone's so busy.
Yeah.
Like, everyone knows what's going on. Please don't stop what's going on.
Yeah, just
like,
keep it moving, bro.
Dude,
Keep that
once you
shit
get
the
in with
fuck
that,
moving.
you're like, I got it, you know?
keep it
honks,
moving.
I don't get mad about honks. I'm like,
No,
a honk is a honk,
whatever.
dude. Yeah, they're
It's
telling you, hey, motherfucker, like, go.
Fucking go, dog. You had a half a second before I laid on this fucking thing. Let's go.
Oh, I love that, dude.
Bro, it took me years in California to like, I'm on like second 3 now, and I'll just do it, boop, boop. I'm
Dude.
not like, on second 1, bro. Just
Get out of
change.
town.
Yeah, I don't want to be like that.
All right. Are you down to take me to New York?
Yeah, bro. I'm going for
Let's go.
420. Let's go.
Okay.
You want the best experience ever? Come 420.
Okay.
Yeah. Come rock with us,
I
bro.
want to go to New York with you. I've got some
should.
places I love to eat there because I've been
Cool.
there quite a few times.
Perfect.
I love
We're going
that.
to vlog the whole thing.
Let's go. Yeah. I
I'm
want to
in.
eat some of the traditional
Fuck yeah.
stuff. Like, that'd be so cool.
You
I'll
heard
write
it
a menu
first,
about
folks.
it.
I'm bringing this
Good
cat.
pizza menu coming at some point in time. This
Let's
could be
go,
really
dude.
fun.
Let's fucking
Yeah.
go. Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. This has been so fun, bro. This is a great episode. Before we dip up out of here, brother,
Yeah.
I'm going to hit you with one more question.
Yes.
If you could go back to the young you, the day before you hopped off the porch and got in the game, whatever that means to you, what would you tell you?
Don't waste any time being upset. It's the number one rule I try to teach my boys. Like, don't pout. Don't spend time whining about shit. Be happy, because you can choose. Infinitely capable as human beings. We just forget that we have that kind of power to be like, no more.
That's right.
I would tell the young me that. Just stop.
Solid, bro.
Yeah.
Solid.
A lot less time wasted.
Hell yeah, man. Before we go, is there anything you'd like to plug? Anything you'd like to shout out? Where can people find you? Let them know right here, bro.
Yeah. So I wanted to check over best worst advice.
Oh, fuck. There it is.
Yeah.
Before we dip up out of here, give us
make
the
this very
best
quick.
and the worst advice someone's ever given you.
Yeah. So I wrote the idea of being nothing without your team.
Okay.
But your team is also nothing without you. Like,
okay.
I think that's such bullshit that, I watched this chef on Instagram and I wanted to engage so bad.
Yeah.
But I'm like, don't. It's stupid, right? Like,
right.
And I'm hothead, so I'll always say something. Yeah. I always leave it up though, right? Never remove anything.
Okay.
If I put it up, it's up.
That's right.
If it bites me in the ass, fucking too bad. You know what I mean? I shouldn't
die
have
on
done
his
whatever
sword.
I was doing it. Exactly, right?
Yep.
Like, absolutely. But yeah, it's just, come on. Like, be part of the team. You don't have to be above them and they're not below you. Like, you're together. And if you treat them like that and you are that, you can't really knock that, right? You come into my business, like, the people that work with me are going to tell you exactly what it's like to work with me. I would expect that. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, the hard parts and all the good parts, So yeah. I think that's just legit. Overcoming, I had that marked down.
What's the biggest thing you ever had to overcome?
Myself, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to get out of my own way to get where I'm at now and where I feel like I'm going. It's all just about recognizing and moving on.
Yeah. Solid,
so,
bro.
I love that. Who would I smoke with?
Yeah, who'd you smoke with? One dead, one alive.
The alive, my brother Jake.
Hell yeah. Does he not smoke?
He has.
Once in a while?
It's not like he's never, but
Yeah.
we've never got to blaze together around a campfire. We are always hanging around a campfire, and I would love to just like pass a great big old joint back and forth with him, because we're very different, and up until recently, like, it's hard, and lately it's just, man, I just want to hang out with him. I want to hang with my family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's really what's most important. Person that's dead, Bob Marley.
Bob Marley, solid.
I would love to get some knowledge from that man on how to live. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't stop living. He got stopped.
Didn't.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
That's pretty fun. What about a weird skill? Quickly, death metal. Obviously, I play a death metal band. You could put that up. Dismal Laps. Shout out to the band.
Okay.
Whistling. I'm a really good whistler.
You good whistler?
I'm a very good whistler. Not right now because my lips are dry
No
as
doubt.
fuck.
No
But yeah. And if a piece of advice I would give you, how's that? Right?
Tell me.
When you're really excited about something, right? Like, say my wife and your wife and us, we're gonna go to New York on 420. We're gonna do it all right, even more so than like you're normally too. Like, we're gonna go.
Yeah.
That's gonna take forever to get there. It'll go from being like snapping your fingers, which is if you're dreading it, right? Like, instantaneously, you're already there. So for me, like, always put a big goal way out front that's like super special to you. Like, instead of thinking my daughter's growing up so fast because she's like just over 2 now, I'm like, I can't wait till she's 5. Sounds weird, but when you're excited about it, time slows down. So like, live a longer life.
Wow, I see what you're saying, bro.
And I don't just say that like some guru. Like,
no, bro,
I
we're
live it every
similar
day.
in age,
Live it
bro.
every
I understand,
day,
bro. We're in similar seasons of life,
dude.
brother.
I look back on my life and I'm like, oh my gosh, 43 years, I'm exhausted already.
Me too.
Oh my God, right?
I got
like
40 in me, kid.
so happy and exhausted
blessed,
with life. Like gray hair.
Blessed.
I see you.
You
baby.
see me? You know what I mean? Got my little silver fox cracking. You know what I'm saying?
Man, it's a little salt and pepper,
It's all right.
right?
You saw a little cacio pepe. You know what I mean?
I like it.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Right on, brother.
Well, thank you.
But and I apologize because sometimes I don't answer. I should have told you that too. Sometimes I don't ask all the questions. I just see how it flows, see how I'm feeling. But I'm glad you brought them in, dude.
Of course.
Thank you, man.
It's just
Thank you, because those were good answers.
yeah. And I don't cameras off, whatever. It doesn't matter. But
No,
the
cameras
sword
on,
thing?
bro.
Okay, well, yeah, but
I didn't sign us out yet.
If you really live your life like that, like, you got to walk around 100% comfortable. You don't get to be weird. And I learned that lesson in the Cayman Islands. Like, a situation, a mentor, conversation, overcoming a big part of your life. Was able to do that because of mentors. But that sword, man, it's so sharp and so gnarly. So like wield it well, you know, and always use it for good, right?
That's right.
Sick.
Absolutely, brother.
You're the man, dude.
Thanks for coming through, man.
Hell yeah. Thank you.
It's an absolute pleasure, man. You already know, guys. Good PizzZa, Localis, Chris Barnum.
Betty
Tune
Wine
in.
Bar.
Betty Wine Bar. Go check him out. His establishments are in Sacramento. He'd be happy to have you. I'm going to be happy to go there. We're going to do some cushion coffee real soon. It's going to be dope. We might even vlog it. Who knows?
Yep.
And I'm taking him to New York City for 420, so be
Let's
ready.
go.
Thank you to all my Patreons. Thank you for everybody who subscribes. Make sure you like, subscribe on the YouTube. Even though they demonetized us today, we still love you guys, man. You guys keep this shit going, man. We'll see y'all soon, man. Peace, love, good pizza. We up out of here.